Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, got a couple videos recorded today. One will be up on Saturday to show the different, or it will to foreshadow the live stream for Saturday. And the live stream will be the Terminator Dark Fate discussion. It can't happen today or tomorrow because today, well, people couldn't make it. And tomorrow, I won't be able to make it because I'm going to be in at the theater during the time that I usually stream. So look out for tomorrow when I do a spoiler-free and spoiler review for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, because I will be seeing that tomorrow. Hey, Rough Girl, if you want to come in, feel free. And Junebug, same. If you guys want to come on, the link is in the chat. So yeah, I could always use some more people just to shoot the shit, see who's talking, whatnot. But yeah, just to give some basic information about my channel. But yeah, so how is everyone doing today? Always good to see people in the chat. And heard that Melissa McCarthy got baffled. So I did a video on that. You might want to repost the link on my end. I don't see it. Well, okay, then here you go. Okay, one Rough Girl. I will definitely keep you in mind, because I'd love to have you on the stream. You're a pretty good supporter of everybody in the community. Cameron Ryder, good to see you. So did the StreamYard link show up in the chat? Yes, it did. And it looks like somebody's coming in. So,
hello.
Howdy do.
Good.
Good. So is there a delay, or can you hear me perfectly?
I can hear you. So
okay, good. No delay. That's good. How you doing, Marty? Good to see you. How you doing, David? Good to see you. But yep, Miss Melissa McCarthy, did you hear about that?
I saw your video. I just didn't comment yet. So
yeah, because I tried to do it as polite as possible. I have received feedback, which I am taking into account, because a lot of people say you're always so negative and stuff, and it's like, I don't have to be positive about, but when it comes to entertainment, but I will try to keep it more positive.
Well, you're a better news outlet than Entertainment Tonight nowadays, so that's good.
Yeah, and tell us more. So basically, one Rough Girl, Melissa McCarthy was baffled as to why movie reboots and relaunches and remakes are quote unquote wrong. And I basically went on to say, people don't think they're wrong. People actually think that they're rather unnecessary, because statistically, most of the time when people do, or when Hollywood does reboots, not only does it show that they don't have any more original ideas, they also just don't have, they're not as successful as the original. The original always manages to beat it out, even, or maybe not in box office, but definitely in quality, because especially nowadays.
Well, the thing is, I think one of the big problems is a lot of directors now are, yes men. You know, we need directors that, Hollywood is full of sharks. We need to show the executives and the producers that you're the killer whale.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like, I'm not going to handle, or I'm not going to deal with studio interference. If you want this, go right ahead. I'm not telling a story that's going to be award worthy, I guess, because the problem is, well, now they are doing so much tokenism. Exactly, one Rough Girl. And as I have said several times, identity politics is starting to turn people off a lot more now. And yeah, I've had this argument with, or debate with Marty in the chat, or he doesn't. We agree to disagree on some stuff. We always have the debate with the whole identity politics thing. And identity politics does not necessarily mean actual politics. It's basically just means that people are grappling and going over, trying to make identity more important than the story.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're going to push a message in a movie, any political means, you're going to, do it like George Romero. Do it very subtly. Don't sit there and, shove it down the throat. Like, honestly, Night of the Living Dead, the original, is far more progressive than anything that has come out in the last 10 years.
Exactly.
Because if you want to push something, don't draw attention to it. Make the story. I mean, if you want to have a female hero or a black hero, don't draw attention to it. But
I mean, that's the thing. Exactly. What is so important about the hero being black, or what is so important about the hero being a lesbian, or what is so important about, I mean, if it's a superhero, isn't the main thing just basically seeing the hero go on a hero's journey and kicking ass in the end and the action? Yeah, there can be a little bit of their personal life, but you don't have to focus on it in such a degree that it does start to overshadow the story. Look at Batwoman on the CW. That show, when the first season came out, I actually watched some of the first season. Honestly, some of it was decent, but a lot of it was overblown with identity politics and political bullshit here and there. They had to take political jabs at certain administrations. It wasn't necessary. When you have, because Batwoman actually had an opening viewing of 1.75 million viewers. It is called escapism for a reason. They do not want politics in their entertainment. We don't want it, dude. You're absolutely right. I identify as a 12-year-old Scotch fir now. Nice.
Well, hey, I know I didn't get a chance to see Batwoman. I just wasn't interested. But
it really is not worth the watch, to be 100% honest, because all it is, hey, I'm a woman, hey, I'm a lesbian, and fuck Batman. Because Batman didn't have any sort of a positive role in Gotham City. All they saw is Batman abandoned us.
I might have to explain this joke, but all I'll say about this is about Ruby Rose. Stanley loves you. There's a movie called Ford Fairlane, and that's what he calls his thing in Ford Fairlane, Stanley. So
wow.
that's what I'll say about that.
I mean, even then, with Ruby Rose, a lot of people said she wasn't woke enough or she wasn't gay enough. It's like, she's a lesbian. She's a non-binary lesbian, so imagine that. That's kind of weird. But then it's like, so what? Why does a lesbian have to play a lesbian? Why can't somebody who has actual great acting talent play a role? We've had, freaking Heath Ledger wasn't gay, but we all saw him in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Identity politics is basically trying to overshadow entertainment.
I heard a great quote. I can't remember who said it. It might have been it might have been some director back in the day, like I want to say like George Stevens or something like that. Those who act. Those who think they are acting do more thinking than acting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you and that's the problem. People sit there and they say, "Oh, this what was it? Scarlett Johansson was fired like 3 years ago for doing some sort of mafia movie about a trans woman or something."
Yeah, they are, because I was actually going to bring that up. I mean, Scarlett Johansson basically went against cancel culture, and they went even harder after her because she's saying, I should be able to play whatever the role dictate I play, whether it be a trans, whether it be a tree, whether it be anything. They pick me out of merit, not out of identity, and that shouldn't be in entertainment. Well, then cancel culture went right after her. How dare you say that? You're a transphobe. You're trying to take away roles from transgender people. It's like, first off, they're not trying to take away anything.
Well, what is I mean, okay, there's. I'm dealing with facts here. Okay, people who are actually trans, and I mean actual trans,
Yeah.
not who identify as trans. It's like what, less than 1% or something like that. It's a very small number. So like I only know of maybe three off the top of my head people in Hollywood who are actual trans.
Yeah, who actually went through everything plus the transitioning and whatnot. Why is it called? Just gotta hate cancel culture. The thing is, cancel culture is a very disgusting beast that Hollywood created, and now they let it flourish for so much. Now it's turning on them. If you step out of line at all, out of the hive mind of Hollywood's groupthink, if any of the Hollywood actors or actresses step out of line at all, they'll be canceled. The thing is, I think what John Voight says is absolutely true. Or not John Voight, but Anthony Hopkins, rather. Sorry. He's like, stick to acting. Hollywood should just be an acting and not, or stick to acting and stay the hell out of politics because they're all idiots.
unless you're doing like a political thriller, but like, or something like that. But if your story does not call for it, don't do it. So
exactly. And
I
will be. Go ahead.
I mean, what does what does Captain Marvel and all the other female superheroes have to do with all that stuff? I mean, like we're getting to the point now where like people are saying how I've heard, like it seems like that all this revisionist history, it does tick you off a little bit because like we've had great female characters in the past. I mean, look at Alien, Terminator, some of the slasher
Yeah,
movies. So, I mean,
exactly.
these are why actual fans of Jace, Friday the 13th and everything, like they say that Jenny Field is the best character out of all of them, because she's badass, and
Mm-hmm.
and we
I miss
don't.
the old movies where Jason or Freddy were killing or were just killing folks. Now people want to know why they kill. It's like, who the fuck cares? That shit is actually already explained in the movies. Freaking Freddy Krueger was a pedophile, and he was just a kid or a child killer.
Yeah.
And Jason, well, he was getting revenge on all those who wronged him and killed his mother.
Well, the thing is, I always looked at Jason as it's never really explained, but he's the basics. The only thing we could basically compare him to is he's like a revenant. He was wrongfully dead. He he was wrongfully died, and so he's just getting revenge on everything. So
yeah, and as for a lot of, to be honest, I've actually been called sexist in that I hate women and this and that because of some of the stuff that I have said in my videos. And it's like, if I'm a sexist for saying that this movie wasn't any good because of a female lead, or however you want to put words in my mouth, it's not because of it having a female lead. I mean, if I didn't like female-led movies, why is one of my favorite movies to this day A League of Their Own? All female-led, except for with the exception of Tom Hanks.
it's good. It's a good series. That's a good movie.
And Alita Battle Angel. Why did I love that, but not like Captain Marvel? That's the thing that a lot of people aren't really or what are we talking about on the stream? It's just Jay. It's just basically shooting the shit, talking about random stuff. And right now, currently, we're on how people love to label us ists and phobes when really they have no argument because they don't really know too much about us except for what they hear in one or two instances.
I love what Joe Bob Briggs said about the cancel culture people.
What did he say?
Go stop using your slidey phone thing to get dates and actually go talk to a woman and go get laid. Basically.
Nice.
Because
go.
I think that's the problem. I mean, I know this is a cliche, but for those in the chat and everything, this is meant to be sarcastic, but maybe get out of your mom's basement and go actually talk to people, and stop drinking your Code Red Mountain Dew, making the Mountain Dew Tower and Pizza Tower. So
I'm actually going to be checking that movie out soon. One Rough Girl. My friend, or our friend Epi the Oz, actually asked me to check that out, and I told him it's like that's because you asked it, I'll do it, dude. I'll give Long Kiss Goodnight a review, and actually, I am looking forward to it. Cleopatra 2525 back in the day. Remember that show? Honestly, I haven't seen it. When she makes that. Okay.
It's pretty. It's kind of. It's like it's not bad, but it's not good. It's kind of like right in the middle. It's kind of one of the very, very, cheesy like late '90s action shows.
Mm-hmm. 1 second, folks. It seems that I'm having a little bit of audio problems here, so I'm going to switch over to my Kindle, and I will be right back.
I don't know. They're making a Witchblade live action series. Yeah, they did have some good gore.
All right, so I'm back in this one. It's different quality camera. It's my Kindle. So I'm watching The Keep. That's an intro. What is The Keep?
And
Phantasm. That was a good, or I believe I saw that movie. I can't remember.
One of the things that people don't realize actually right now, we're actually at a transition right now in Hollywood because in the early 70s, before Star Wars and, when we had the resurgence of Hollywood, before George Lucas came out with Star Wars, the big moguls were retiring and everything, and marketing people were hired to make movies. And so we're at that phase right now in Hollywood right now because the guys who were in that era are retiring, and they're hiring marketing people to make movies. And like, oh, we need to appeal to this market when it's only like maybe it's like a fraction of a cent, a fraction of a percent of the market that you. It's like, okay, well, this is like a market that is very limited. So how do we can't really appeal to it,
Yeah.
And so what we need is in Hollywood right now is people like Walt Disney, the man, not the organization now, but the man, Walt Disney, and George Lucas, innovators in the industry to show people good classic stories.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If Walt Disney was alive today, people would try to cancel him because simply for the fact that he had a different view of them or them. When actually, he may have had a few skeletons in his closet. Who doesn't?
Exactly.
Who doesn't?
No man.
I have skeletons in my closet. It's none of anybody's business. I'm pretty sure you got skeletons in your closet. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat has skeletons in their closet. But the thing is, they're always going to do a deep dive, especially if you're on Twitter. They're going to look for something you said or or a video you did if you're a YouTuber, and they're going to find a way to cancel you if you get too big for your britches. I'm only at 751 subscribers. I absolutely have no problem with climbing that ladder slowly if I have to. Do I mind a little bit of boosts here and there? Not at all. I mean, that's what the community is there for, to help you grow. But also, I don't want to go onto a humongous channel. No offense to any of them. They're great channels. Don't get me wrong. but I would rather make that journey and feel that I myself, all plus with the help of the community, got there. I didn't get any insane boosts like other channels. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not saying that I don't like them because of that. It's just I feel that to me it's a cheap way of getting or achieving your goals. I like going the long way because the long way is the right way in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remember shows like Flavor of Love, shows like this would never make it. There was a movie that I recently saw. What was it? Crap. You know what? I can actually look on. Oh, it was A-Team. The movie A-Team, the remake that they did. Honestly, or reboot that they did, they made it a movie. If they tried doing that movie nowadays, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because of how much freaking Murdoch is crazy. Or Hannibal's a white guy. They would immediately try changing Hannibal into a black guy or a Hispanic or something else. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, you got 3 white guys and a black guy. That's racist. How is that racist? How exactly is that racist?
Hey, if they announce tomorrow that Antonio Banderas is going to play Hannibal in a new A-Team movie, I'd say okay, cool. but
I mean, only he's up there in age. Yeah, he could pass as Hannibal.
Exactly. Only if it's Antonio Banderas, though.
Yeah, I mean, nope. Hannibal. Yeah, Hannibal would be. Yeah, they would probably make him gay, or they would do something to change who he was to be with something else. I remember when you would get scared when Ludo from Labyrinth would show up. Dude, who didn't get scared of Ludo? You're arguing over hypothetical real lives. I'm not arguing, dude, at all. I'm just, that's how it is, Marty. Me and you have had this debate a lot of times because I and Junebug and many others in this chat, we've all done the research. We have seen the direction Hollywood is going. Whenever they do a reboot, they automatically change a core aspect of character into a virtue signaling pander job. That's all.
They'd probably make Hannibal get together with one of his old army buddies.
Yeah.
And you know, if they just sit there and, you know, Hannibal, you know, they had a scene, hypothetically, they had a scene where Hannibal, you know, he gets together with this guy and he just shuts the door and you just cut to the and just don't even draw attention to it. Just, you know, close the door.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that they would definitely have a problem with nowadays if they redid A-Team is Face. They would make, or because we all know that Face in the remake, he was the ladies' man. He was sleeping with people or women on or every second and whatnot. So they would automatically be like, oh, he's a misogynist. So we're not gonna, or we're gonna make it. They would actually probably make freaking Face bisexual.
They'd probably make Face female.
Probably. I mean, yeah. I like Charmed the way it was, or the way it was now. They remade it with a black girl and 2 Hispanic girls. I honestly never got into it. I would be Jason Momoa. But yeah, if anybody wants to join in, let me put the chat or the link to the stream back in if anybody wants to join in and join the discussion. And yes, what JM 2021 said, like, what is wrong with masculine men being in a film like 300? Me too, people. Exactly. What is wrong with movies like 300? What is wrong with a guy having or being with a woman in a movie nowadays? They have to have it as something totally different. Hello. Marty, good to see you.
I apologize for my face. It's a little messed up. I'm sorry.
So how you doing?
So it's okay. It's not as messed up as mine.
Jesus, I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for a copper warrior in a tuxedo shirt.
But no, I thought it'd be a little formal for the stream, you know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's one of the things that Hollywood does have a problem with is masculinity, or actually masculine men. They want men to be more watered down, and yet they want women to be more masculine.
Call me old-fashioned. I think it should be. I still think it should be the other way around. You know, because
what is wrong with a feminine character? What is wrong with a feminine character in Hollywood nowadays?
You know, it's. You know, it's.
God, there's such an echo. That's so weird.
The fact is
that happens, or if you're not wearing headphones, you'll have an echo.
Well, yeah, I'm on my patio, bro. It's like almost midnight.
Yeah, true. You're over across the pond.
Well, that's the thing. You know, like we're programmed to protect women. Where you know that's what we're supposed to do. We are literally designed to, you know, when we are blessed with a family, we're supposed to go and, you know, be the breadwinner. If the woman would be the breadwinner too, but the man, you know, both of you should, you know, just, you know, I call me old fashioned, but I just still believe in those old values. So,
thing is, I have an old soul too, dude.
Yeah, I mean, because and like what I was gonna say that like with Walt Disney though, Walt did, yeah, of course Walt had demons in him, but like this whole modern thinking that Walt was racist and Walt was this and everything, and Walt was sexist. You know, Walt hired a lot of animators who were they were inkers. A lot of those inkers were women because women have smaller hands, and so they could ink all the stuff for Snow White and all that stuff. And Roy did not want to pay them as much, but Walt said no because they are doing a harder job than the animators. Walt agreed.
That's why a lot of animation is subcontract out to South Korea, because they can crank that shit out in like 10 days.
But
another thing about Walt Disney is when he hired you for basically life in Disney World. When he hired you for a position, you had insurance, you had benefits, you had all of it when he was running things. And nowadays, Disney will not provide that. In fact, they're going off with all the crap nowadays, and it's like, well, you wonder why it's so expensive at Disney nowadays. Look at how they're running the place.
Well, it's all the person who we can actually blame that on is Bob Iger.
Yeah. I mean, Iger, he did not, or he may have gotten it up here and there in certain areas, but the problem is under his time, not Chapek's time, but under Bob Iger's current, or when he was running things, he was protecting people with, shall we say, less than appealing life activity. I mean, I already did that video of that kid that was like 15 years old who was working for Disney, one of their bands. And, well, the Hollywood talent and the Disney talent departments were having these kids liquored up and sleeping with women.
Have you heard about have you heard of what Abigail Disney is saying? She is the
oh yeah, she came out against them, or she came out and she did like an undercover boss thing with Disney, and she said, look, the way you are treating these employees is not right. And they looked at her and they basically said, you know what, we don't give two craps what you or your family have to say anymore. You're not part of our board. You're not part of the company anymore.
Even Michael Eisner has came out against it.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's, you know, he said that, you know, he did not want Bob Iger to be chairman of Disney.
There's a joke that the number one reason why my comic would never be published by Marvel or DC is because my main character wants to be like her father. Now it really ain't a joke anymore. That's true, Riot. And believe me, folks, also give a look to Riot Kitty's channel. She actually does some pretty good artwork. She also does some pretty good entertainment breakdowns. Her Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League, Who Did It Better, was actually a very good video. I highly recommend you check out her work. And she is also working on a comic that is sounding pretty interesting, to be 100% honest. And believe me, when it comes to anime and stuff, I'm pretty stingy.
Yeah, I mean, and Michael Eisner has even spoken up against how Disney's running the company now. And Michael Eisner was forced out, kind of. That's another topic for another day, but I don't know. I've heard rumblings, though, because of how Bob Chapek is running the company, he might be Disney's shortest CEO. I've heard
Chapek, yeah. God, I wish I had Lorena in here. She's actually a Disney shareholder. She could actually give us a little bit more information, so to speak.
Hey.
One of the cool things about our community, we have people pretty much who give a lot of who have a lot of information in different areas, and it's actually quite advantageous for us as a community as a whole. But look at that cute little cat, Marty.
There's a pussy on the stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, all I'll say is, I just find it funny. Don't trust people who look like Lex Luthor, Bob Chapek.
Yeah, I know, right? And another problem is Kathleen Kennedy. When it comes to Disney Lucasfilm, yeah, the stuff that they're putting out or the Star Wars stuff that they're putting out, the only interesting thing they have put out out of the Star Wars stuff so far, complete honesty, The Mandalorian was a little bit interesting. I will admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Visions was interesting because it had some pretty cool Japanese anime, and also Kathleen Kennedy was not even involved. The only thing she was marketed as was Lucasfilm's president. That's it.
I'll just say this: I have seen a little bit of the new Star Wars stuff after the whole Gina Carano thing, but not through Disney Plus.
Well, if you have to sail the high seas, I don't condone or condemn because, well, that would be the smart thing to say on a stream. I don't condone or condemn it. Whatever you have to do, you do you. I'm not condoning or condemning. But as for me, I have it because I'm also sharing it with family. So because some of the family has kids, and I'm letting them watch some of the older stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually, I'm sure a lot of you know that, but I actually really did apply to be, when I heard Bob Iger was going to step down, I actually found the application online and applied to be CEO of Disney. And even made the videos about it on my channel. I mean, it was kind of, I was kind of joking around when I did that, just because it was kind of like well, I'll just try it, see what happens. But I mean, if I got that position, I would take it seriously and really clean up the company. So, and I really and yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, I would probably just put her into the room. We would have just basically she'd just be going to the principal's office.
The way that I see Kathleen Kennedy is she tried to do her best, but the problem is she got too power hungry. Mm-hmm. When she got involved in Solo and was firing writers left and right for that movie, that is why that movie is the only Star Wars movie that lost money in the box office.
Well, I will sit there and talk to her and say, okay, what's going on? Like, why can we not keep writers and keep directors for projects now? Why is
Well,
this?
she's on the identity politics train, dude. I mean, look at her
No,
campaign with the whole forces female thing. Look at all the writers she has hired for the new or Lucasfilm story group. All those writers who, if anybody had said or who have said much worse things than Gina Carano when Gina Carano was under or was working for Disney. These people demonize white folk or white people all the time, yet they don't get reprimanded once by Disney.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is I would call her into the room and have her explain it. And if I don't like it, basically the pink slip will be right there and sitting there saying, your services are no longer required at Disney. If you are not out of this building within
I agree.
hours, I will call the cops on you right now for trespassing. Have a Disney day. For those who don't know, if you hear a Disney employee say "Have a Disney day," that basically means "F you."
Mm-hmm.
So I would.
They have their whole.
So I would.
Yeah.
I would be telling her that.
I mean, the thing is, I would basically be pointing to her right then and say, "Look, you had Gina Carano fired for what? For speaking her mind, and yet you will not fire Pedro Pascal when he literally called half of the United States population Nazis, where all she did, she didn't draw a comparison to anybody, any political party. She didn't draw she didn't say that anybody was a Nazi or anything. All she did, and I actually looked over the whole thing, was she said back in the 1930s, the Nazi Party worked to divide neighbors and pit them up against each other. That's all she did.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said that's basically what's happening now in the United States
with conservatives.
No, she didn't say conservatives either. She didn't specify. She didn't specify at all. But yet everybody, because they hated her and they saw her as a filthy Trump supporter and all that stuff, they wanted her gone. She even admitted during her interview with Shapiro that they wanted to publicly shame her by putting her on a discussion with the the spokespeople for the LGBTQ trans community, and they were going to shame her. And then Disney was actually planning on leaking that video and making it public. The Venom synopsis reads okay. I'm seeing that tomorrow, Marty, and I'm actually looking forward to it. One of the things I am ignoring all out is Andy Serkis's, or the director Andy Serkis, who played Gollum. It's amazing. That dude pioneered freaking mocap, and now he's into directing and stuff. That's pretty cool. He's saying that this movie is a coming out party for the symbiote, and I'm like, okay, kind of hard when the symbiote literally has no gender, but whatever. I mean, that is one of the most ridiculous things that Andy Serkis has done, and believe me, he's done a couple of ridiculous things.
I just maybe if he continues, maybe we should just take. Maybe it's a good thing Andy Serkis fell into Mount Doom then.
Pretty much. But yeah, Gollum. Fun thing, folks, if you know your lore about Lord of the Rings, Sauron actually considered Gollum the chiefest rival, or his chiefest rival.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually something that I've asked a lot of Tolkien fans that. I even tried asking OneRing.net about that before they blocked me because they didn't like what I had to say. It's like, you guys call yourselves, all right, here's a question for you. Who is Sauron's chiefest rival? They were like, Gandalf, or friggin' what's his name? Orange Hattesis. Cute. Trixies, yeah. And it's like Orange Hats. Yeah.
I got blocked by them too.
Yeah, they blocked me because I called them out on they were actually supporting the that other group that something of Tolkien, those fake idiots that were trying to say that Tolkien was all for transgenderism. It's like, if you know anything about Tolkien, he was a devout Catholic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
He even converted an atheist to Catholicism.
C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
And
It happens, Kamen Rider. If they can't that's the thing with most people on Twitter. If they can't handle the fact that you get ahead of them on a conversation or that you're winning in a debate, they'll block you because they don't like it.
Did you ever hear about the new Shadow, J.R.R. Tolkien's sequel that he was going to write to the Lord of the Rings?
No, I actually didn't.
It was set during Aragorn's son reign, so Eldarian's reign, and it was going to be about this
Nice.
evil cult that takes over Arda, and it was very interesting because the evil cult go after the younger people of Arda to influence them to, talk about orcs and talk about evil of the past. It's basically very interesting because you could, it kind of talked about what a lot of people, a lot of politicians do. Sometimes they go after the youth to influence them, and as the lead character was Barleth or Barlos, however you're supposed to say it, the tower guard, the guy in the book who Pippin befriended and it was his Baragond. It was his son.
Yeah.
Who lead in the book. So the book was about a man. We don't know if there was going to be elves and stuff in it, but because there were elves around the time that Tolkien was writing this, because this was set right around 225 years after Lord of the Rings. So there were even hobbits and dwarves. So honestly, I'm one of the only Tolkien fans, and I'll admit this, but if they could find a worthy enough writer, I would just love to see that finished. Like, they would have to finish a lot of it because Tolkien only wrote about 13 pages, but
they would have to go to one of the Tolkien scholars that isn't working on Amazon's Tolkien or Lord of the Rings series, because I don't want those idiots working on Lord of the Rings. I mean, they're trying to push the whole elves are gay thing or gay elves theory, and it's like, dude, that was shot down a heartbeat in full context.
Yeah, there's even kind of a hint in this, at least the story that I read, that Morgoth was going to come be the chief antagonist in this one. So that means that this would be the end of Arda.
Well, Morgoth, wasn't he destroyed? If I remember correctly.
No. He was put into the void. And he can come out. He can only come out when it's Dagor Dagoroth, which is basically Armageddon, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And so basically,
those people who block decent folks like Orange Hat or Chicken Shits, they need anonymity behind a character screen as a safeguard to protect their feelings. That's pretty much true, dude. I mean, but going back to I want to cover something that Jay said here about them going after Gina because she refused to put pronouns in her bio. Here's the thing. They did go after her because of the whole no put pronouns in the bio thing. Yet, if you look at all of the Disney Story Group people, including Pablo Hidalgo and all those idiots, guess what? They don't have pronouns in their bio either.
I will.
Yes, that is a freaking mushroom. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or keep that in the screen for a second, Marty. Put it back in, or go back to your mushroom for a second.
I stole that mushroom from Post earlier. It was great.
Oh my god, dude. Show it again. Show it again. Thing is freaking humongous.
So you take that mushroom and you pan fry it with a little bit of butter and olive oil and salt and pepper, and it tastes like meat. They're so good.
Oh yeah.
No, they're so good. They sometimes they get up to be about 12 inches diameter, and they're so good. Oh, they're so good. I'm sorry. I was so excited because I stole it before the Germans did. So.
How you doing, Keely? Good to see you. We're just doing random talks, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, I would, if I was in chairman, there would be of Disney. There would be a lot of cleaning house.
Oh yeah, same here. Most of the story group, I would fire. It's like, you guys want accountability here and there. Well, I'm about to show you accountability. All your racist stuff that you have put out on your social media that Twitter does not want to get rid of because apparently they agree with it. Well, we are going to hold you accountable. You're pushing actual racism. Well, you're going to be fired. If you're now, personal opinions aside, you can have personal opinions. Keep that shit off of your off of your time card when you're at work.
Danny, may I pause your rant for a second?
Go ahead.
Did you watch anything on Shudder?
I was unable to last night because I got really tired after our conversation.
I gave you the key to Joe Bob Briggs, and you just didn't take advantage of it.
I will take advantage of it over the weekend, dude.
You cut me deep just now. You cut me deep.
Well, give me some time. Like I said, I got a lot of shit on my plate. I still got to do the Terminator stuff, which was moved back to Saturday. Do you
understand that it's almost October, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I got home from work today, I started watching Joe Bob. I started with Spookies, and it was amazing. And then it went on to Phantasm, and it's awesome. And now I feel like you don't love me as a friend because you didn't take my suggestion.
Dude, we've been friends for over fucking 30 years. Of course I'm going to take your suggestion, but like I said, it takes time.
No, I know. It's just more fun for me to fuck with you than anything else. So that's where I get most of my joy.
And believe me, folks, we always call up each other. We have freaking all sorts of shit. Oh my God. What did he say? Stephen Colbert's cringy ass Vax song. I saw a muted video of it. I would never play the video of it at all, Jay, in 2021. Stephen, all the late night talk show hosts are basically the same, dude. They're a bunch of pieces of shit. Because all they are they've gone political. Nobody likes that shit anymore.
Hey,
I thought that was a turtle at first.
Hey, I'll say this. Before he went political, I used to think that Jimmy Kimmel was the best out of all of them. But then he got really political. I actually agreed with a lot of his stuff, but then he started being anti-last president. So
the thing is, whether you're anti or for the last president, keep fucking entertainment out of politics. I mean, if you have a movie that has politics in it, like they're doing a freaking Senate or whatever, like Star Wars does, I have no problem with that. But keep the over nowadays politics shit. Keep that shit out. Mm-hmm. We don't, because not only is it inherently divisive, it dates a film.
Mm-hmm.
When films are better when they're timeless.
Well, look at some of the okay, I'm a self-described film historian, so I've seen a lot of movies. Look at some of the Nazi propaganda movies that they made.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's one of them where it was made in the 40s. They say that they just all portrayed the Nazis as heroes and everything and all that stuff, which you look at that nowadays. Yeah.
That's
there's one of them literally where they say that the Nazis saved people off the Titanic.
No.
Yeah.
Nazis weren't even around during the time of the Titanic.
I know, but this is a movie in 1943.
Well, that would have been one weird movie because it's kind of hard to, or that's just them trying to literally change history. I mean, if you ask me, there was one Nazi that I know of, only one Nazi that did any sort of non-Nazi behavior, and that was what's his name over in China when he was actually trying to free some Chinese slaves over there.
You're familiar? I'm assuming you're familiar with James Bond movies.
I'm very familiar with James Bond movies.
Gert Frobe, the guy who played Goldfinger.
Yeah.
He was a Nazi, and then he actually rescued some Jews, took them out.
Yeah, because he actually was a Nazi, or he's what's known as a Nazi traitor. There's a difference between a Nazi and a Nazi traitor. Nazi traitors, if they were found by any of the Nazis after World War II, they were basically hunted down. He was lucky that he actually got the hell out of Dodge quickly enough.
Collaborator. The word you're looking for is collaborator.
Yeah.
I was just reading an article today. They just tagged this 96-year-old stenographer who was at it was a concentration camp. I'd never heard of before, Stuttgart or something like that. And she was on the run, but they ended up catching her. But your collaborator is the word you're looking for. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
Didn't mean to butt in there. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Stuttgart.
There's this video on YouTube that I'm trying to get everybody to watch. Who it talks about how why we have all this stuff now, basically, and I'm trying to say it without getting too political, but it does talk a lot about like what we're talking about, how a lot of these people who were around the time of when Marxism was popular, and they did not like the way America is, so they decided to influence people to think like them, and it's this whole little mini, one of those mini YouTube documentaries about this. It's
One Rough Girl, I feel as though James Bond was okay until this recent Bond. I can't stay awake on any of his movies.
Did you know there was another one that just dropped? There was another Daniel Craig one that just came out, No Way to Die. I didn't even know that was coming out.
No Time to Die, yeah.
Yeah, No Time to Die. I didn't even know that was coming out.
Movie. That was his last movie.
I'll go see it if it's because I'm a huge James Bond fan, but I've kind of made the decision on something, that if a movie is woke
or being marketed as,
or if the movie is woke, and I have decided that I am just going to take the high road on reviewing it from my channel. I'm not even going to review it. Like, it just, The
way that I do it is, if they market it as woke, I'll still watch it. I will give it a chance. But if it does cross over into the woke ideologies and the nonsense, I will call that shit out. Now, some of the early reviews for it are actually in. A couple of people are saying it's not as woke as their marketing suggests.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, or it's not pushing a lot. There are a couple of moments in there, sure, but that's the problem. It's how they're marketing their stuff. Oh, we got the first black 007. Who the fuck cares if they're black, blue, green, yellow, purple, red, or white? Who the fuck cares?
Exactly. Yeah, and hey, I mean, the thing is, and I'm even one of those people that, like, I think that James Bond, Ian Fleming created a white character based off of Cary Grant and Hoagie Carmichael. So, like, as much as Idris Elba would be cool,
how you doing, Craig?
I think that maybe find a new spy franchise for Idris Elba, not James Bond.
Why not? It's like Daniel Craig said. Why should they have to make a female Bond? Why can't they just create another character who is just as good?
Yeah. I'll suggest this. There's the books by George Le Carre, the George Smiley series. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is one of them. why not start with the first book in that, and then have Idris Elba play that character? Because basically, this would be, Idris Elba in actually being a spy in a spy thriller, not like James Bond, but it would be honestly like it'd be a better character piece for Idris Elba to play.
Oh, while we're talking about stuff like that where people will get canceled, there's another movie that they would absolutely freaking never allow to be made again, and that's From Paris with Love, which was actually meant and designed to be a.
Oh my God! Here we go.
That was designed to be a.
Here we go.
Designed to be a Bond parody. Believe it or not.
John Travolta's head looked so fake in that entire movie. Like, it was so weird.
John Travolta's head.
It looked so fake and rubbery through the entire movie. Like, it was so weird. It was so weird.
Dude,
but the best part of that movie. The best part of that movie is when he just blew that chick's head off at the dinner table without it was so great. Like, that was
meme, dude.
The rest of the movie was absolutely fucking terrible, but that was the best part of the whole movie.
I know. It's when he actually he does all these serious shit, but even in the comedy moments, even when he's being serious, he's freaking hilarious in that movie.
John Woo was considered to direct GoldenEye.
No shit.
Yeah, but he did the first Mission Impossible, which was But when you watch it, is terrible. Like watching Tom Cruise do his fake martial arts moves in that movie is so painful. It's so painful.
I'm more playing Tom Cruise on.
Listen, Tom Cruise had better martial arts movies and risky moves in Risky Business than he did in the first Mission Impossible movie.
Second Mission Impossible.
Oh my God! Here's a. Oh yeah, my mom gave me a picture from when I was like 13 years ago. From
you tell your mom you're allowed to stay up late tonight. Or do you want me to call her and ask for permission?
No, dude. But anyway, y'all want to see a 23-year-old orange hat with hair? Or where is it? Yeah. Yes, I kind of look stoned in that video or in that photo because my eyes are closed. But yeah, there's me with hair, dude.
Well, if you want to wait 20 minutes, I can find a 6-year-old orange hat with a shitload of hair covered in dirt.
Dude, you wouldn't.
Bet.
He would, actually, folks.
I would.
We don't need a female Bond. Biased because I like men. I'm based because I like men. The thing is, when Rough Girl, they actually tried the female Bond thing. It was called Atomic Blonde.
And Eon Productions. Eon Productions, the people who make the James Bond movies, even tried it.
Well, my thing is, I don't necessarily like the idea that they'll change Bond as a character, but the 007 moniker is just a moniker for whoever's holding that title for the, the MI6 thing. So that can be
honestly,
anybody.
I would have made her like 008. Nobody's ever heard of 008 or 009.
No, well, wasn't Sean Bean 006 in GoldenEye?
Yeah, he was They only had like 3 or 4 other 00s mentioned, 002 and 006.
Well, yeah, but just because that's all they mentioned doesn't mean that they don't exist.
Yeah, I know.
08 has been mentioned before, but I mean, even Ralph Fiennes in it. He's the new 006.
Oh, I hated him ever since the first 28 Days Later when he, tried to turn all his soldiers against the one chick who showed up in that movie. Oh, such a terrible guy.
Kamen Rider, I was skinny in that picture. I was a freaking twig in that picture.
Twig is relative. You were like a birch tree.
But yeah, are we all related? No, actually, One Rough Girl. But my friend or Demongo down here, Marty, me and him grew up in the same town. We've been friends for 30 years.
Well, if you go back far enough, we're all related.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least 2 of us are descendants of Genghis Khan and his man-whorish ways.
That's true, but not all of us have watched Labyrinth together, and that's what really makes the Bonds a family.
There you go. Jennifer Connelly, man, she was hot back then. That woman is barely freaking aged.
She's still hot.
I think she's one of those Hollywood people that, like, you know, sucks the stem cells out of infants to stay young.
Pretty sure that's probably true, dude.
You know, like the
I
South
mean,
Park episode where Christopher Reeve was cracking open the necks and sucking the stem cells. Like, that's pretty much what I
Dude,
think they do.
I remember when Cartman was building a fucking pizza shop out of stem cells.
Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes.
It's like, I'm gonna use these stem cells.
No,
to
it
build
was
anything.
no,
I
it
want a
wasn't.
pizza shop.
It was a Shake's Chicken or something like that. It was like a
It
weird.
was something. It was
That
just a
is one
fucking
show-
fast food restaurant that he
It
wanted.
was some
and he
weird
just-
restaurant. Like, yeah.
That is
Oh
one
god, that was
show
so
that
great.
I'm surprised has not
Nah, dude. Thing is, Jay, I'm actually, or if you wanted to get a picture of me when I was 6, I could show you a picture of me when I was 6. I don't mind being embarrassed because my friend Marty or Demongo here, he and I go way back a ways, and I know that he wouldn't do anything to overtly just go overboard. He wouldn't go.
Are you
overboard.
sure?
Oh, I know you
I-
do because
I
here's
don't,
the
I don't
thing,
know
when
that I
you're
would
in
make that bet.
when you're in this stream. If you do go overboard, I could easily remove you.
I mean, I definitely have pictures of your older brother. I don't know that I have many of you, but I definitely have pictures of your brother.
Yeah, just don't bring up my brother in any capacity or what he does or anything. That I am, or he asked to keep that.
Well, I
off
mean,
of you.
magic carpet shit.
Yeah. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, I do have family. I do have brothers and whatnot. But yeah, I do have a brother. And that's one of the reasons why I actually wasn't able to get a lot of content out over the last few days. A couple days ago, I think it was yesterday actually, I was babysitting for my brother or my niece and nephew. So yeah, that was fun. So, but yeah, the whole, I am willing to take a look at No Time to Die, but Lashana Lynch herself, she kind of has become unappealing in some of the shit that she has said in or behind the scenes and other things. I mean, they banned the word Bond girl. Take it easy, Riot Kitty. Thank you very much for.
Is the new one a direct sequel to the last Daniel Craig Bond movie? Skyfall, right? Was the last one?
Spectre.
Spectre was, and I haven't seen
Spectre.
any of
Yes,
Daniel
Spectre was
Craig's.
the last one.
The last one I saw was the one with Halle Berry and Pierce Brosnan.
Or as I like to call
Oh, that was pure. That was
Die Another,
The
Die
World
Another
Is Not
Day, I
Enough. I think.
Die Another Day.
It was either The World Is Not Enough or Die Another Day.
Because that was the weird one where he was fighting the Korean dude who had the gems implanted into his face, and then he made himself into a British guy and had like a power armor suit on a jet
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Icarus.
Basically, it's James Bond fighting a Sith Lord.
Kinda, yeah.
Which,
And then there was that British chick. But
Hey,
here's the thing, dude.
that movie.
They canceled Bond girls because Bond girls is such a sexist term. It's like Bond girls were what women aspired to be when it came
Well, I
to
don't know
James
that
Bond.
that's necessarily true, but okay. I
No,
mean,
that
I
is
get what
something that-
I get what you're saying, but I don't know that that's necessarily true.
No, that's actually reported on. Or when they originally reported on the whole Bond girls is no longer allowed to be talked about or on set and whatnot, they literally banned the term on the during the production.
Yeah, but you got to think of the Bond girls like the Playboy Bunnies. That was more of a 60s and 70s and 80s thing. Like they just
it was the 90s and
just
2000s thing
stopped
too.
happening.
Every movie had a Bond girl except for this one, apparently.
Hey, guess what? You know,
Chicken butt.
at the end of the day, all women want to feel beautiful. You know, and you know, the Bond women or Bond girls, whatever you want to call them, because that's the thing is Bond women, Bond girls. It's the same thing to me, you know, because they want to be. All women want to feel beautiful, and the James Bond movies make them, you know, make all women beautiful. Like if they, listen, I'm just going to use this as a bad example. Even if they casted Roseanne Barr in the '90s as a Bond girl. You know, guess what? It would be it would be great because guess what? Bond doesn't care.
Well, Bond literally sleeps with every woman or sleeps with at least one woman in each movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Hey.
Oh shit, that's right. Justin Proper's doing This Week in Bullshit. Ah, damn it. Well, at least our AVP is also live. Sci-Fi Nation is live. Everybody is freaking live except, well, at least the bigger channels aren't live. At least the bigger channels aren't live, so I'm not crossing over with them.
Yeah.
She probably does a lot of juicing and skin oils, cares to stay young, Jennifer Connelly. Yeah, probably. I mean, a lot of the Jennifers barely fucking age. I mean, look at Affleck's former flame, Jennifer Garner. She actually looks like she's gotten younger.
Hey, look at.
What was that? Nina Bergman is an actress. I've seen her interview with Fat Samurai Guy. She would be a perfect replacement for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, hands down. Yeah, that actually is a good segue because it was something I did want to bring up. A lot of people do love to say that the whole Phase 4 for Marvel is going into they're working in to try to do the A-Force all-female Avengers thing. Well, there is an impossibility with that because they do got Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, first off, in Phase 4. But as for Brie Larson, yes, she is incredibly unappealing to me. It's just how it is because of all the crap that she has said on and off screen.
Wow.
And she played a block of wood in Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, that's just objective truth. She barely had any emotions whatsoever in that freaking movie. But but a lot of people have given me guff. Now, a lot of people have given me guff, and it's like, what do you got against women and this and that? And it's like, I have nothing against women. I have everything against poorly written characters. Now, a lot of people love to say that women were not represented well in the early MCU. Hey, how you doing, Spork and News? Good to see you guys and gals. And one of the things is, every MCU movie in Phase or in the Infinity Saga, this is absolute truth, dude. Every MCU film in the Infinity Saga has had a female character help the hero in a very essential way that otherwise they would have failed. Who beat Obadiah Stane in Iron Man? It wasn't Tony Stark. It was Pepper Potts. If it wasn't for Pepper and Black Widow in Iron Man 2, Tony would have failed there as well. If it wasn't for, I believe, Pepper in Iron Man 3, well, the frickin' Mandarin, or the guy that was pretending to be the Mandarin, would have won because she ended up saving Tony from that. Hulk had Betty. Ant-Man had, what's her name?
Mike check. Can you hear me?
Wasp. Before she became the Wasp. Even in the first one.
Can you hear me?
You're bouncing it. Yeah, I can hear you, Marty. I'm thinking the feedback is coming from Junebug's end.
Sorry.
So, can we talk about
That's
the movie
okay.
that really matters? I feel like a lot of people don't spend a lot of time on Real Genius, which is probably Val Kilmer's greatest work. And, there's a lot to unpack there, and nobody ever wants to talk about it. So I feel like we should maybe
say that again. You were getting cut off from the feedback from June.
Real Genius. A lot of people don't talk about Real Genius, and I feel that that's Val Kilmer's greatest work. And like nobody ever wants to talk about that movie. That'd be a good neutral.
I haven't seen Real Genius, but one of the movies I liked him in was The Saint.
I love The Saint, even though it's
that
terrible.
movie was.
When you watch it now, it's terrible, but it's terrible but great.
Yeah.
I like watching a train wreck happen in slow motion, but you still can't look away, and you love every second of it. It's great.
Well, even that movie had as a lot of people like to say, a strong female character. I mean, it's like, yeah, she had a weak heart, but she was a freaking genius ahead of her time. Elizabeth Shue's character.
Who was I don't even remember the name of the actress who was in it. I forget.
Elizabeth Shue.
Oh my god, yeah, but Elizabeth Shue, Adventures in Babysitting. Oh my god, she's so
Yep,
hot.
that one. Jennifer Lopez is another Jennifer. She's got a body and is sexy at mid-50s.
Elizabeth Shue is in The Boys too. She's really good.
I liked her best in Anaconda because, well, yeah. Even that movie was freaking just cringe, but I loved it.
So yesterday, if you don't mind me hijacking this, uber political conversation here for a second, I watched Deep Star 6 in Leviathan yesterday because I love my sub ocean horror body horror movies, and to this day Leviathan is still better because it's got Peter Weller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about the anything that even remotely alludes to H.P. Lovecraft kind of weird shit like The Thing and all that crazy stuff. And I watched them both yesterday. Oh my god, both movies had great actors. They had Daniel Stern with the Deep Star 6. You had Peter Weller and Leviathan and a couple others. The dude who played the Colonel from Rambo. What was his name? You know what I'm talking about.
Troutman.
Richard Crenna.
Yeah, Crenna.
He was in Leviathan as the doctor, if I'm remembering correctly. But Deep Star 6 had it had what's his name? It had oh boy from oh god, I can see his face. Just give me a second. Hold on. I'll remember who he is. Hold on. It had Miguel Ferreira, the dude in RoboCop who developed RoboCop and then was killed by Clarence Boddicker.
Oh yeah, Miguel Ferrer. Yeah.
And then it had the one guy. Remember the TV show My Two Dads? It had the one guy with the great '80s mullet, and then the other father. He was like the main guy, like he was in it too.
Yeah.
And they're both because how they always release movies like in 3 or 4s, like Armageddon and Deep Impact. Like in the '80s, they did the same thing, but they're like inferior movies to each other. But Leviathan is way better.
Yeah.
But then there's what's the one with the guy from The Rock? Can't remember his name.
Sean Connery.
No. Not Sean Connery. The bad general. What's his
name? Ed Harris.
The Abyss.
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
The Abyss. So that's a great movie too, and then it's got Michael Biehn in it. It's got a whole bunch of. That's another great underwater movie too.
If it wasn't for The Abyss, T2 never would have been made.
Yeah.
Say that again.
If it wasn't for The Abyss, T2 would never have been made.
Oh yeah, because the special effects show the liquid aliens is basically with the same thing they did for the T-1000.
Yeah. Hey, Memes of Destruction. Good to see you. We're just talking random stuff, dude. If you want to come on, I forgot to set or do this regularly. So if anybody wants to come on, we're allowed 6 people. So definitely come on if you want. The link is in the chat.
For everybody who's listening, I've been trying to get Format Reviews to do a legitimate review of Killer Clowns Outer Space for about 4 or 5 years now, but he won't do it. Because I don't know.
A review for what?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space, probably the greatest movie ever.
Well, I've only been YouTubing for 2 years, dude.
Well, you shut your mouth. It's 5 years now, and I'm gonna keep tacking on time until you admit to doing it.
I mean, I always say, if you want me to do something, recommend it, and if I can get to it, I will get to it. Believe me, it may take a while, but I will get to it. But anyway,
I think one of my favorite underwater movies is the Disney version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I haven't
I
seen
don't think
that.
I've seen that one. One of my favorite underwater movies actually is Underwater.
Listen, Kristen Stewart was actually super good in that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll fully admit that. I mean, she's an idiot in most movies, but in that movie, she was freaking great.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna watch it because I was like, oh, it's got Kristen Stewart. It's gonna be terrible. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna watch it. And then I was like,
Same here, dude.
shit. I was like, oh, I'm all in.
You know what? I would suggest, Orange Hat, you should go watch the 1950s version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I believe I did see that a few years ago.
Yeah, it's really good. Even another one from Disney, the animated Atlantis movie they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
with
really
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that Kristen Stewart was actually in the movie Jumper with what's his name, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah,
that movie was terrible. The whole premise of the movie is just ridiculous. You got people who can teleport, and then you got Samuel L. Jackson with a lasso who can stop people who teleport. Like it's so crazy.
Oh my gosh, it has been so long.
Boo, bitch.
Rosetta, how are you?
Evil. And my eyes gashed.
Obviously. So how have you been? Well, besides the eye, yeah.
One of my guilty pleasures is I watch Forbidden Planet every so often. That's that 1950s
Forbidden Planet.
sci-fi war movie.
Forbidden Planet's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of my guilty pleasures.
Orange Hat. Guess who one of the people who did a set of pinups for me for my book is? You should know the art style.
Let me pull up the solo.
Who draws those little anime minis?
Riot?
Yes.
She did she decided to do pinup?
She did a set of the pinups for my book.
Nice. Also, guys, if you guys like cool streams and photography and art and whatnot, Rosetta's a channel that you should definitely be following and subbing to.
You're so sweet.
You do some great photography. I mean, you have a lot of freaking eagles on your. That's the reason why she calls herself Eagle Rider, folks. Is because look at her photos of bald eagles all the time. She has eagles for days. Let's just say that.
I have been working on a merch store.
I heard about that too.
So, as of right now, in that store, I've already got like 25, 26 designs up, including a set of 5 eagles.
Mm-hmm. Do I have any of my mods in the chat? Because if I don't, I can make a couple people mods.
Me?
Well, yeah, you're in the chat. So plug your merch store if you want, girl. Go right ahead.
1 second, let me grab the link again because I just got back at the computer.
Oh yeah, apparently they also redid Diablo 2.
Mess.
That's all right. Oh, Rosetta, you want to see a picture of me 13 years ago when I had hair?
You're trying to scare me now, I take it, right?
And let's see here. Yes, I know my eyes are closed in the photo, but here, let's go down a little bit. There we go.
Holy crap. What
yeah, I was I was a twig back then compared to what I am now.
Imagine that giant head on a tiny body. That's what I've done for basically his entire life.
Who said
I'll
that?
take that. That's my friend Marty. He's one of my friends from he's been a friend of mine for 30 years. We grew up in the same town together.
So, what do you think of the fact that she actually did one of my sets?
I think that's actually a pretty good job.
I'm trying to get as many people involved as I can. See, look at this stuff.
Yeah. Yes. For those of you who don't know, Rosetta also does more risque drawings, shall we say? And she does a pretty good job.
Some of the stuff in that merch
welcome.
store is actually mature rated. Well, Redbubble wants you to mark anything that's either underwear, lingerie, or nude as mature.
Yeah.
So some of my stuff that's not necessarily as risque is still marked that way under their rules. There are things there where there's nip slips and other stuff in the imagery.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Memes is backstage.
Oh, God, somebody save us. I mean.
Oh, I know I should be worried. Till I venture someplace scary. Ghostly hunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Beetlejuice is less scary than means of destruction. I mean,
Holy shit, it's Jesus with sunglasses.
I am not Jesus. We've been over this before. An accusation I cannot confirm.
Hey, come on. I look more like Jesus than he does.
Oh my God. that
You're
is
a Viking
majestic
Jesus. There's a
beard,
difference.
no, we already have Ginger Viking Jesus, remember?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, we're a rare species. We're becoming extinct, allegedly.
Yeah. How you been, dude?
I've been doing, man. I've been existing. It's times are chaotic, but you know what they say. It's always darkest before the dawn. It seemed pretty dark. I'm pretty sure dawn's going to be pretty amazing.
Yep. And my buddy Marty is back as well.
Welcome.
Wait, did I click him back in?
I
probably clicked him back out. So hold on once. And there
How
he is.
dare you?
Now, the big news on the merch
crap.
shop right now, besides putting some of the pictures up, is that
Hold on, Marty.
in the merch, it's also going to include, has up the set that I did with Machini. It will include the set that I did with Hexal, and it will also include the set I
There
did
we
with
go.
Luke Korosky at night. So there's going to be several of my pinup sets I did with other people are going to be in that merch store available.
Go on.
The link in chat, my merch store that I've just been building. It's got a lot of sexy pinups and all kinds of merchandise.
Are there stickers?
Oh, yeah.
There's stickers,
Everybody
there's
take a
magnets,
look at-
there's blankets, there's shower curtains, there's all kinds of stuff.
You will
Take a look at my friend Marty's
Yep.
big ass mushroom.
Wow.
Dude, you want to know the crazy thing is that lamp, depending on like where you move it in the room, the patterns are going to change. Like I was literally watching something on like what was
That's
it?
a mushroom.
Symbolic geometry.
That's not a lamp.
If
That's a
you want
mushroom.
to send me a little in PayPal,
Wait,
I
that's
can
an actual
always
mushroom?
Yeah, that's an actual mushroom.
stickers.
Is it
Yeah, it's an actual mushroom.
Memes,
Oh, nice stickers.
Go on.
I picked bigger ones than that. So that
These are available. So all you have to do is send me a little in PayPal and I can send you a set. Just
Yeah.
message me if you want details.
Was that the best use of the mushroom?
You
Well,
pan
anything with a big head like that needs used in proper ways. I'm just saying.
My mushroom
Oh.
You
is
want to treat it well. Be gentle.
Folks, just so you know, Marty, now that Rosetta's here, she'll make a lot of dirty jokes. You'll love her.
Hey.
Debauchery on the internet?
my
Imagine my
mushroom's
shock.
bigger than Marty's.
Go on.
I mean, you know,
Well, Memes is still got a shirt on, so we're actually doing good tonight.
It's true.
Yeah.
it's early
This
yet.
boy is shameless for ripping his shirt off.
But yeah.
Don't worry, Orange Chat. I haven't forgot about you. I've been meaning to include you in one of my videos.
Exactly.
Not
Orange
saying that I
hat.
may or may not have still footage of you ripping it on air, but I may or may not still have footage of you ripping it on air and basically convincing everyone that Al Torre is actually a scaly, not a furry. He likes dragons. I would
Dude,
know.
most of my streams with Rosetta on her channel, I have embarrassed myself in one way or another.
You mean like sadly they made you throw away the sex toys?
Yeah, I told that, and
Don't let
they
people
totally
bully
took
you.
it out of context. They totally took that out of context.
I need to throw away
4
one of my
months.
sex
We
toys.
took that out of context for months.
It hasn't been cleaned.
Okay,
Yep.
to be
Needs to
fair,
go in the garbage.
before he started actually paying attention to wearing his headphones and voice locking his stuff, there are 3 different times I tried to get his Alexa to do things on him. The first
She
time I just
tried-
tried to get it, I'll tell this. The first time all I did was try to get it to order 20 tons of toilet paper on it. The second time I tried to get it to start, it was looking up granny porn for him the second time. The third time I started asking it for chloroform recipes, and then he started locking it.
Yeah, it's like, I am not going to be federally flagged.
Headphones.
Exactly.
So
Now it's downstairs. It's completely out of her reach.
He wasn't. He kept doing this, and I kept telling him, "Don't have that thing on around me. I will misbehave." And he kept doing this, and he's complaining about it. No chat. Man, just get some headphones. You know she's not going to stop.
You realize this is why we can't have nice things, and we're going to a verified internet.
I know, right?
I mean, you can do stupid ass, but I mean, you're gonna get held accountable for it. I'm just saying.
No, I was fully open that I was.
Uncle Megatron, are you wait, is that Stunning and Brave just changed his name?
That's what I was thinking as soon as it said Rosetta like that, because
Yeah,
Could be a
because it's
pseudo
like,
account.
dude.
Could just be somebody that just created an actual channel now. You never know, and that's the thing about the internet. You never know who's on the other side.
Well, it was
You
somebody
never
who
know.
enough that before he even said my name, it was capsing Rosetta in chat. So
Everybody in the chat are movie files, like they have a relative great knowledge in all things that are movies.
According to
Please
Uncle
put me on
Megatron,
number
they can
2.
confirm.
These
Yep.
will be
So,
on
yep,
number
that's him.
2 soon.
May I ask a question real quick? Orange Hat, is it okay if I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
My science project, greatest 80s movies ever, discussed.
Ghostbusters.
Greatest 80s movies discussed?
Ooh.
Yeah, no, my science project, greatest movie ever, greatest 80s movie ever, discussed.
Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to answer that. I don't like picking favorites.
I know. I mean, there's just so many to pick from.
Ghostbusters.
Wait, was Turtles
Yeah,
89 or
Ghostbusters.
90?
90.
I am not a Ninja Turtles girl, and you know that.
Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtles, was one of the best damn movies ever.
Turtles
It's
2.
not my style.
I gotta give Turtles 2 an
I'm not
edge just
arguing whether
because
it was good or not. It's not my style.
It was awesome. I liked it.
Wait,
Yeah,
this
well,
is
that's
the
the
thing.
thing.
It's like,
I'm
if
not
it ain't your
gonna
type
say
of movie,
something-
then
I'm not going to say something's not good because it's not my personal taste or style.
how dare you?
That I don't think is fair.
Oh my gosh, I lost almost every one of my viewers.
When you
All right, fair enough.
right?
So everybody who's
One,
still
we still got Megatron.
I really wish they could take that away. That bothers the heck out of me. I'm like, remove the stupid little box. I don't care about how many people are watching. Let's actually just enjoy the conversation. Then you don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Because I feel like it encourages.
Well, it's usually
This is the
wrong
thing with the-
anyway.
Yes, because technically I'm still down here as well.
So am I.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
I've had times when my chat says I have no viewers, and I've got like 8 people all talking at the same time while it says that.
Yeah. Well,
so
YouTube glitches.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Orange Hat,
problem is when it says 1 viewer, that means they're not counting right in the analytics, and we're not getting the view hours too.
What were you saying, Marty?
how many people are online right now?
Online on here or watching or what?
How many people are watching your stream?
It says 1, but there's at least 3.
How many of them have seen My Science Project?
How many of? Hold
Yeah.
on.
I have.
All right. How many have seen
there's
what?
My Science Project with John Stockwell and I can't remember the name of the. That's the one where they find the alien engine in the Air Force graveyard, and they turn it in for their science project, and then it ends up being like a time portal, and they start. It's like one of my favorite 80s movies. It's amazing.
That literally sounds like, what was it? Oh, Flight of the Navigator combined with Hot Tub Time Machine.
No, it's
It actually
even
sounds like
better.
a great movie. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if I multiply those together, I'm like, that sounds like a good time.
So the dude from his name is I can't remember his name, but the bad guy from Hackers, he's the friend, and they find this thing, and they put power to it, and Dennis Hopper's in the movie, and he warps to the 60s, and then it starts teleporting shit into their high school, and it's a fucking great movie. It's called My Science Project. It's one of my 80s movies.
That actually sounds like a blast. That sounds like a good time. But all I gotta say is, my only comment is, if it just so happens that Tic Tacs are made in the USA, all those $38,000 toilet seats were totally worth it. Peace out, everybody.
Oh my god.
That's memes.
I like
Yeah, he
I like-
always.
My science project.
Thank you.
Oh, so that's an actual movie. Okay.
He's got that awesome GTO. That whole scene where they're racing against the power lines, and then they blow it up with dynamite. It's so good.
Any movie with the GTO is awesome.
I'm just going to sit here and be the most innocent one on panel for all of maybe 30 seconds.
I put that in with my three. So I get Christine, My Science Project, and what was the other one? The Raid. Like those are kind of like my top. Well, they're not my top movies, but they're like my mid top movies.
I'm pure, I am sweet, I am an angel, I am light.
I know you've seen My Science Project, Orange Hat. I know you have.
Can't say that I have.
I'm an angel, nobody can prove otherwise.
Sharing the stream out on Twitter.
You see the Raid, though, right? It's probably shit.
Yeah, I watched that a while back, and I did a review on it, I believe.
Yeah, it's
Oh god, that's another crazy great movie. I mean, it's terrible, but it's great.
I like it. I like that car that they have in it.
Well, that was a Chrysler concept, not the
Crazy
Indy
names.
car, but other type of racer.
Yeah, it was a prototype car or something.
Yes, it was a prototype that they never used. So then, like, fuck it, we'll use it for the movie. And when you watch the movie, you can see the Chrysler symbol in the front of the car. It's great.
Yeah.
But one of the best part is when Clinton Howard is like, he's like, "Hey, open up your engine so I can put the skill clip in there." And he was like, "Hey, Haggard, this shit ain't normal, man."
I am on a stream with a bunch of weirdos, and I am sweet and innocent. By the way, all the dragons behind me I painted and did.
That's
Sure.
literally
Sure.
every time I talk to Orange Hat, that's exactly what he says. "Oh, I'm sweet and innocent. Why are you talking to me?" And I'm like, "Oh, that is."
Daniel, you got in all kinds of trouble with me. You're not innocent.
Oh, yeah. She also had a nice little roast session when she met my aunt.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a good girl.
Well, I've met his aunt, his
Sure.
father, his mother, all of his brothers, and basically his entire family, and I'm still alive. So there's that.
Oh, yeah, because believe me, Aunt Beck would have kicked your ass if you misbehaved.
Let me put it to you this way: his family is not scarier than mine.
True.
It's all relative.
No, unfortunately, it is my relatives.
Oh God, that was a pun I didn't even intend.
I mean,
That's a lot funnier than I intended. What's that? Or are you having a successful stream? No shenanigans?
I think I got like 12 likes so far, so hey, the night's young.
As long as someone licks you, I guess that's fine because that's what you need.
And StreamYard resets on the 1st, so it's like,
Do you want
yay.
to see what I'm doing while we talk and why I keep staring over here?
Sure, why not?
All
Share your
right, I'll make it easy on you guys. No sharing audio.
I'm lurking while setting up a treadmill. Okay, right. Yeah.
There you go.
And
Mwah.
How many people are still watching right now?
we probably got like 5 people watching, even though it only says 1.
I am designing merch here, so you can see like the books and the clock and stuff being laid out and designed.
Yep.
That's so funny. Orange Hat was just doing the same thing last night, and he was putting himself in the same exact outfits. That's weird.
Dude, shut it. Not supposed to let people know about that.
I told you last night, I'm not judging. I mean, you looked okay.
Hey Marty, is that for Orange Hat's OnlyFans?
What was that?
Listen.
The only hats?
We're not using real names here. So,
Yeah, go on the manga.
if no, it's fine. You can go in. I don't care. If Orange Hat is wearing jorts and doing what he does, that's his business, and we should support him. As weird and gross as that might seem in his endeavors.
Says who? I don't have to support nobody.
Well, honestly, there's not a lot of support for a man, anyways, in jorts. So
I will stab you, Marty.
Hey, how for a blank pattern here? Look at that.
Oh wow, nice.
no, I'm here for you, brother. You know, you want to wear jorts or a scarf or whatever.
Okay, I'm not even that vulgar. Let's scoot that a little so she's at least got some face in the image.
Orange Hat, you look great in that. Your hair probably is not as glorious, but you could fit the booty shorts at least.
Wasn't it you that was running around with a freaking thong one summer?
Yeah. But that was like 15 years ago, and I was in the Army at the time, so it was expected.
I'm going to sit here and be as sweet and innocent as possible.
So tomorrow I see Venom. Saturday I'm doing the... Oh, Marty, you might actually be able to catch the Terminator Dark Fate stream because it's actually going to be 6 p.m. on Saturday, my time. So
I can't, buddy. I'm going to be in Czech. I got we're going glamping this weekend, so I will be off comms. I may be able to chat a little bit, but I won't be able to stream. I'm going to burn, about 20 acres down to the ground.
All right, take it. All right, cool.
Well, that's not me. That's just what my French buddy asked me to help him with. Well, we can set fire whenever. No, I gotta go.
I'm really liking this site, Riot. They've got all kinds of weird stuff that nobody else does for merch stores.
Oh, right. I did see the pinup that Rosetta showed us that you did.
The first one. She's got a whole set.
Oh, nice.
But I'll show the
Riot
whole
does
set when I
good
stream
job.
with her and work on the colors on them.
Cool. Riot does good work.
Riot's my girl. I love the girl.
Whatever you're saying, Marty, it's fading out.
I am a total perfectionist.
Did I tweet that out? Yes, I did. I believe I did.
Let's put that up. Oh, yeah, that looks much better. Cool. Yes. No. No and no. And which ones I pick to make for each thing depends on which, of course, items fit the item the best and look best with it. So it varies a lot between which ones I do.
Processed. I mean, I think I'll go for another 20 minutes before we start winding it down. I picked today to do a random stream because literally barely anybody is doing streams except for a couple of channels. It's like, God damn it, you chose to go live now. It's like, son of a bitch.
Like you said, listen to the bigger ones.
A couple of bigger ones are starting to go live, and it's like,
from being sick for 5 weeks.
Yeah. Oh shit, Mecha went live.
Okay, so do you want to hear the funny story about my coworker or no?
Sure.
Okay, so my coworker John has been dating this German lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's really nice. She's a little he's in his mid-40s, she's in her mid-40s. They're nice. You know, they've been dating, whatever. So apparently, last weekend they went to a sex shop in Emberg, right? And they're looking at all these sex toys and everything. And yeah, John was like, "Wow," because everything's in euro. So so just to understand, so if it's $100 American, it's roughly 125, 130 euro. Okay, just so you kind of understand what the price is. So they're looking at all this stuff, and they John didn't want to spend the money on that. Well, he told me he put it to me like this, and it was so bizarre. He's like, well, she picked up this toy that was a mutual benefit for both of us. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And he's like, it's one of those things that benefit for both of us. So I was like, John, I don't know what that means. What are you fucking talking about? He goes, it's one of those weird things. I was like, okay, whatever. Did you buy it? He goes, no, I didn't want to pay the money. I was like, oh, that's fine. So then we're talking about it, and then he goes, all I ended up getting was a little cock ring. So he says, I got this little cock ring, and I'm like, John, what the fuck, man? He goes, what? I was like, you missed an opportunity to brag about yourself. You admitted that you only needed a little. He goes, and then he goes, oh shit, no, that's not what I meant. I was like, yeah, but that's not what you said.
Oh my god, dude, that is just nuts.
And like everybody's at work is like, oh my fuck god. He's like, yeah, but oh my god. That's so fucking funny.
And thank you, Gilkman, dude. Anybody who hasn't subscribed or followed Gilky on Twitter, definitely follow and subscribe to that man. He is literally the heart of our community. He is such a great guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez. Sorry.
No, we heard you, Marty. Or I just wanted to give a shout out to him because he is seriously
one of the
coolest.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
What do you think of this one here?
Nice buffalo.
But as a little bit of more info, the funny thing is that John, my coworker, he doesn't swear. When he gets upset or whatever, he says things like "ah, jeez" or "oh gosh." Like it's so funny. Like when most people say "oh fuck you" or like "oh fuck," like he doesn't say it. He's just like "ah, jeez." It's hilarious. It's so funny. Because it's funny because he's one of the guys that will close down a strip show. Like he will go to a brothel, and he'll close it down, but he doesn't swear. It's the funniest contradiction I've ever met in my life. He's great. He's a great dude.
Nice. I think Britney Spears is literally having a cry for help on Instagram. I mean, she just posted full nudes on Instagram.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been crying for help forever. Like, she shaved her head and everything. Like, she's been trying to get out from her father's thumb for years.
He actually is dropping a conservatorship.
No, I saw that. Yeah, recently.
The thing is,
Dude, she's my age. Dude, I turned 40 in 30 days. She's my age.
Britney Spears. The thing is, what people don't realize is she has I can't think of what it's called, but like, the whole thing with her kids and everything that she's going through right now and everything. But like, she has a thing where she's mentally unstable to handle like her money and everything. That's why her dad takes control of her money.
There was a conservatorship for years, but I think a lot of that. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think that because of the press and everything, that's just a little crazy.
She had a mental breakdown, but there's no evidence that she's actually unable to function.
Exactly.
There's no evidence of that. And the stuff that they do to her, even if she is like that, the way they treat her and the way they manipulate her is still abusive.
Oh, yeah. Because it all stems from because she was a child. It started out when she was young. Her father was her conservator since she was a child, and then they just never got rid of it. So when she got older,
no, it wasn't as a child. You don't get a conservatorship as a child. As a child, your parents automatically run things.
But you know what I mean?
She had the mental breakdown when she shaved her head, and if you look at what was going on with her at that time, she was going through a lot of abuse and mistreatment then. So I don't really blame her. And this isn't somebody. I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of her. Exactly. I don't like what she's done musically, but the way she's been treated is really just disgusting.
Like shit. Exactly.
I have a very close member of my family who has the same thing that she's been diagnosed with for her thing with her children and everything. So.
Yeah, I can't find any evidence that she actually has it. I can't find an actual diagnosis. It's just them telling people that she was diagnosed. There's no evidence she actually has it, and that's where I have a problem. Mental issues are no joke, and I speak that as experience. Don't I?
Shaquille O'Neal just pulled his celebrity card.
You're not gonna answer that one, huh?
No, but I'm going over some news here and there, and I just saw that Shaquille O'Neal literally just denounced all of Hollywood. It's like, holy shit, man.
I'm just gonna call you a chicken shit right now. I gave you an open opportunity to openly say how bad I can be mentally, and you just went.
Oh, you can be nuts. You can be freaking insane, woman.
No, I mean, she basically pulled a Gary Busey for 48 hours. Like, the paparazzi just got to her and she lost her mind. Like, I don't blame her at all. Like, can you imagine what it's like to be that kind of person and so famous where everybody's taking your picture every second of every day, like when you're just 22, whatever. Like,
yeah, it takes a toll on you.
If you look at what she put out, musically, lyrically, put aside personal taste and whether or not you like her or not, because again, she's not my style at all, and I was never a fan of her. Every album she has made since her very first one has had songs on it that were literally cries for help, curtailing exact details of depression, abuse, and being neglected and manipulated as a star.
Well, yeah, exactly. And not only that and then she got divorced from that piece of shit Kevin Federline, and then she had to pay him a shit ton of money like every month for the kids. And like, what the fuck? Like, that's enough to drive anybody insane. Like,
exactly.
If none of the other shit happened, the fact that she had to pay that douchebag so much money, that would drive me to murder. Like, I would burn that fucking guy's house down. Like, that's insane.
Whether or not I like somebody or not, I can acknowledge when people ended up as screwed up as they did because they needed help. They cried for help and they couldn't get it. Lohan is a good example of that. Part of why she's so screwed up now. She cried for help.
And Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes.
Lohan is a train wreck. But if you look at, she was made fun of when she came out with a song about being scared as an abused daughter, which actually she used actual media footage of shit that her father did in the song.
True.
And she was made fun of for it.
Yeah,
Lindsay
it's like
Lohan.
Amanda Bynes. There's been many others that they try to get it out somehow, and then they get criticized, and then you're fucking insane or whatever, and like these people, they're so conditioned to be famous that they're not allowed to have any normal emotions. You know what I mean? Like they're just conditioned to be in front of the camera, and they're conditioned to perform however they're performed, and they're not allowed to be normal people. And when they try to be normal people, they get labeled as, you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lindsay Lohan, when she did the movie Machete with Danny Trejo, she was actually saying, or one of the things she said behind the scenes was, I'm doing this movie basically to say fuck you to all those people who thought that I couldn't get out of the drugs, because actually she was playing a drug addict in the movie and whatnot, but she had actually finally gotten clean.
Dude, I would not ever want to be famous. It's just too much stress. I couldn't deal with it.
The things that these people are put through, the things that are done to the manipulative assholes who just want to use them, and the kids coming out of Disney, and Spears and Aguilera and Lohan and Duff and Hilt and Cyrus and all of them are perfect examples. Disney is a fucking feeding tube for destroying children and putting them through horrific abuse.
Well, yeah, it's literally a hive of pedophilia. Oh, and by the way, folks, I'm unmonetized, so I can actually say those words that the monetized folks cannot say. So,
That's not true, because I just sent you $5.
Cute.
No, I didn't send you $5 because, well, maybe I'll order you pizza.
If you guys want to spend money, I can ship these. I have the mailers and everything ready. This is a set of 5.
Do you mail internationally? Because my buddy Marty is across the pond.
I can. I just have to find out what it would cost depending on where he is.
Germany.
I'm in Bavaria.
All I do is
Bavaria.
get the address. All I would do is get the address before we actually do the invoice and go down to the post office and find out what the cost is to ship.
Well, if you send me some good shit, I will send you some good Bavarian chocolate in return.
Yeah, Rosetta, he does excellent freaking gift packs or gift packages.
You have my attention when you said chocolate.
Yeah, that's how Orange Hat is able to maintain his girlish figure.
Let me explain it to this. Chocolate is manna sent from heaven to prevent homicides every 28 days.
Orange Hat, tell her about the chocolate I sent.
Basically, he sent me enough chocolate earlier this year to get me through March and April and May.
It was 15 pounds was the package.
Yeah, he sent me 15 pounds of chocolate.
You didn't want no sauerkraut. I didn't send you no sauerkraut.
Amen, Fate. Thank you for the suggestion. I might actually be doing a versus stream of Terminator versus RoboCop. I will actually jot that one in.
Oh,
you want
that's my favorite.
Do you know what's been stuck in my head for a week and a half now?
What?
The theme song that Sweet Anita uses for her streams, which is literally called Sweet Anita. It's literally called Pixel Ticks, which is a guy who actually made a digital video game song of different ticks and controversy that she had. So it's like places where she's going, hey, and wank on them, and stuff like that in the song. It's funny as hell. Okay, I'm demented.
Terminator versus RoboCop. I believe Death Battle did one of those, but it was like way early on.
Yep.
But you know what? They also did the Goku versus Superman and kept on making it so Superman won, and it's like, fuck you, Goku would have won that. But hey, I had that 4-hour stream that basically made it so or that also did explain how Goku could actually win. Nowadays, he can actually win. Ha! So, Death Battle needs to update their bullshit.
Didn't they did a updated one?
Yeah, they did an updated one when he was or when he became Super Saiyan God. But it's like they didn't update it. They didn't update it when he did, or when he achieved Ultra Instinct. It's like they also didn't update it from when or about his manga, because he can literally use the same technique that Beerus uses to kill people instantly.
Oh.
And that's why he could actually kill Superman. If he used that. Marty, you're saying something, but I'm not hearing you. Oh, right. That was that golden calf I remember seeing a picture of. I think Marty muted either himself or he's talking with somebody else.
I do know a lot. Michael Eisner, though, was not actually all for the stuff that Disney did. I know he actually did stick up for a lot of the children and everything, and especially in the '90s Mickey Mouse Club, when he heard about it, he did fire a lot of the creepos there. So, and even because he believed in running the company from more of a creative standpoint than a financial standpoint, and that's the way Disney should be run. So,
I mean, yeah, like I said, I did that video almost 2 years ago this November. Goku with his first fight. But yeah, there was that pedophile, that girl that she was like in her 40s, sleeping with a 15 or 16-year-old. And instead of doing the right thing and turning her in, Disney transferred her to a different department. It's like, so you're giving a pedophile a chance to abuse again.
Exactly. Well, if I was chairman, it would be okay. Well, because we actually have evidence right now, you're fired. And by the way, stay here because the cops are going to be called right now.
Yeah, we're holding you under citizen's arrest.
Exactly.
I want to see something here.
I mean, yes. I mean, well, like we need just guys like Clark Gable again. Like Clark Gable, when somebody was messing around with Shirley Temple, Clark Gable wandered on the set and sat there. I'm looking for so and so. Like I've never heard who the name the guy was, but then Clark Gable sucker punched him in the face.
Oh, damn.
Knocked him out cold.
Oh, wait. Marty went backstage. Hold on 1 second, and let's see if I can get him back in.
I'm in the show. Yeah.
No show's
Okay,
perfect.
he's back.
Yeah.
Now that I can see everybody, I'm gonna bounce out on that. There.
So it's almost Halloween. What's everybody's 31 Days of Halloween horror movie viewing list?
I don't
Young
know.
Frankenstein, Arsenic and Old Lace, High Anxiety, Clue.
I don't
There
know.
you go.
I don't know. Well, let's see. I will be 29 on that day, so I'll probably just be
Oh,
having.
you're so young.
I'm going to
Well, I
be
will
checking out
be-
Halloween Kills.
I'm turning 40 this year on November 1st, so I'm a little. Ugh.
Hey,
So I'm gonna spend.
hold on. Did I say 29? I meant 92.
Well, I got in the Mouth of Madness playing right now, so this is my. Well, actually, we're in my time. We're already in October, so that's how I'm starting the month out.
Yeah, I'll probably just be having some birthday cake and candy, and I don't know. Maybe we'll.
I'm not into the true horror genre mostly because it doesn't scare me, so I get very bored quickly, and then I start criticizing it.
Well, we know that Odin can't watch it.
So I usually just watch more of the comedy horror realm.
Yeah. Critters, Gremlins.
Well,
Can't
that's
go wrong with
why.
them.
That's why I turned Danny on to Shudder so he can watch Joe Bob and listen to his commentary on a lot of these movies. It's so good, so great.
Well, see, that's the thing is, if I'm watching horror movies, I am usually watching them with my husband, and we're pausing it like 5,000 times so we can make fun of the people and cheer on their deaths. It's the same way I approach watching Christmas movies. We can turn an hour and a half movie into 6 hours of mocking.
Quarter black hair. There we go. What about the world's nicest asshole? What the fuck? Some days I can't decide if I want to be the world's nicest person or the world's biggest asshole. Jesse, always go for world's biggest asshole. That's the best way to go.
Not me. I'm a sweet, innocent angel.
You know which Jesse I'm talking about, right?
Milestone?
Yeah.
If somebody's saying, should I be an asshole, it's usually her. I love my girl.
She should be an asshole. She's not in the chat. I just saw her tweet on Twitter. Be cool if she was in the chat. I mean,
Well, we all have one.
yeah. Everybody has one, just like an opinion. God, more Alex Jones shit.
Jesse's my fucking girl.
Yeah.
I don't care if I agree with her on everything. I don't care if I like a lot of the same people or we hate people the other one likes or shit. That girl, me and her.
Like I said, to anybody who has drama with anybody else, I mean, there's all the drama between Geeks and Gamers and other people. It's like, that shit is between you guys. If you're coming onto my channel, we're not going to be even talking about that shit. We're just here to have a good time and fuck around. That's all. We're not here to freaking hash up shit. Now, if you want me to be a mediator, fine. I'll be a mediator. You say your piece, and I'll tell you what's wrong with both of you motherfuckers. Other than that,
I don't want to get between people. There's a couple there's a couple events that have happened I have my sides on because I know which were not true based on what I've personally witnessed.
Mm-hmm. But let's not even bring that up.
No, I'm not saying anything about anyone or naming anything, but I'm not going to get into those details on air or get into attacking people or stuff like that because nobody wins in that situation when you're naming people on air and bitching about them. Yeah. Nobody. All it does is hurt the people who may like both of you.
Yeah.
It's something. It's something. If we really wanted to talk about it, we could take it to the back room.
Exactly. That's completely.
And that's the only point I was making. I wasn't taking any side or naming any drama. I was saying that's what we need to do is not do that. Take our issues and go, I don't fucking like you, and then walk away. Don't talk about it, and don't talk drama. Just like
Lady Gravemaster, I am so jealous of her right now.
What?
She's watching freaking Venom 2 right now.
I won't get involved in most dramas to the point where even people that have fucked me over, if I end up on a stream with them, I'm not going to say anything cross to them.
Well, I already kind
I
of
mean,
did that mistake, and I
Yeah.
also had to do an apology video too because of it. I mean, I kind of acted like a fucking fool, but you know what? Shit happened. We went our separate ways and tried to patch it up, except that they didn't want it patched up. So I'm like, all right, fuck off. I try to patch it up, but you didn't want it.
I've had issues with people, you know this,
Yeah,
but I don't ever want it to hurt any mutual friends.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I'll end up pulled onto a stream with somebody. I've told them to fuck off repeatedly. I've blocked them on every social media, but I
Same
go
here.
on the stream knowing they're there because it's for a friend, for a celebration or a birthday or something. And I'm civil while I'm on the stream with them. I get off, sign off, close my camera down, and then go, fuck that bitch.
I know, right? I mean, believe me, I'm right there with you when it comes to certain people. It's like, the only reason why I'm in the area is because I'm supporting somebody else. The fact that we're crossing paths is purely freaking coincidental. I am not here for you. I am here for another. That's it.
I have one Pacific troll who he makes videos about me and everything. So
I have a specific group who I've had blocked on every media for almost a year, and they're still obsessing about me every stream and video they do. I'm still getting people sending me it.
Yeah, that group, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, I just have chosen to basically, you know, the best thing I've just learned, because I've made the mistake of, we got into a heated live discussion with the guy, and we, lack of a better word on how we sounded like the president's debating. You know, it was just all that stuff, and I just kind of regret doing that video and with the guy, and so now I just ignore him. So
yeah, I mean, me, I did, oh yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
but that's the thing, is we all have to make our choices for things, especially when we're dealing with all these multiple communities, all interacting with each other online, all being involved with each other. We're not all going to get along.
No, we're not.
Gonna happen.
And that's why we have the thing to agree to disagree.
Well,
my thing is, if you're a bitch to me, I agree to block you and not talk about you, or at least name you when I bitch about you.
Well, like the guy I'm talking about, like I made a film on my channel. He did what they, say what you like. He did. He just overanalyzed it, like it was, like nitpicked every little detail. It was just to the point where it's just like, dude, this is not even funny. This is just stupid, So, and I haven't even watched the video that he did. So, but he made 3 parts, nitpicking a 20-minute film. Each of the 3 parts was an hour long.
That's probably. Yep.
What?
Marty says, thank you for having me on. And whatnot. Good chat. Well, Marty, I'm glad you were back, glad you came back. Oh, wait, does he want me to bring him back? Alrighty, I'll send him the link. So, hold on.
I've had all this stuff for so long. You know how long I've had these pictures and this artwork and all this. If I'm going to make merch, it's not just the few things I just drew recently, because there's so much stuff that I've done,
Okay.
You're obscuring me quite nicely. Hi, Riot. Thanks for hiding my pudgy chin.
Yep. Shit. That thing is supposed to move the whole screen up, but weird.
It doesn't when the screen share's on always.
Yep. Marty says goodnight, folks. He had to get to sleep. He's over in Germany, so he's like 6 hours ahead of us. More ahead of Rosetta, because she's I think you're Central Time.
Yep.
But yeah, basically, I already put the one that I had the biggest drama with is in the private chat. If you guys are curious on that, but we're not going to repeat who it is. And then but after the whole, we'll just say GP situation, I had a serious trust issue with anybody who wouldn't come on screen. It's like one of the rules. If you are on my freaking streams, you come on camera so I know exactly who you are. Now, there are those who can't for obvious anonymity reasons, but the thing is, I will trust them because obviously I know
There is
them
somebody
and they have established themselves.
I will
but-
be interviewing soon. In person, I'll be sitting down and interviewing, but he's going to be behind the laptop where I'm streaming from so that people can't
Yeah.
see him. And that's one of the ones I talk to over on Twitter a lot. That's Netcat.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh,
And that's
And,
because of the stuff he does down there. He doesn't want to run a risk of putting anybody else into the middle of his opinions and stuff he does online.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want his face to ever be seen.
Yeah. And that caused a problem with a couple of friends of mine in my personal life. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, but I cannot trust anybody who's not willing to do a freaking video chat. I mean, there was a person I knew for 7 years, and it's like, seriously, what is the harm of a freaking video chat? You know, even if it's a 3-second video or like a 5-second video or something. Let me
that's
know
right.
who
It
you
is.
are.
We need to. There's a thing about we need to protect your anonymity. There's also, if you're going to be on our air and we're going to risk our name and our reputation on you.
Yeah.
I had just finally freaking got Pixie on air about that. Yeah, he'd been manipulating the fact that I was a survivor to try to get sympathy. So,
Like I said, I talked with Pixie, but then shit came out, and it's like, that's weird, man. And I cut ties with him.
freaked out when all that came out because of the way that he had talked, because
We all freaking confided in
he
him.
was playing in that, you know, he knew
Yeah.
what I was and was going right back into the grooming behavior.
Yeah, and it's disgusting.
you know, there's kind of one reason exactly why the only social media I have is YouTube. I don't plan on ever getting Twitter, MySpace, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever else is out there. I don't even keep track of all of them, you know, because I just
Unfortunately, for what I do, they're required. You have to be able to promote. You have to be able to advertise.
Yeah.
You have to be able to get people interested in what your opinions are in order to sell
Same
the
here.
merchandise.
I mean-
exactly. Because I've been honest with people lately. Like, you know, I only started YouTube to basically get my film career going.
Yeah.
You know, to put my name out there as a filmmaker, and you know, I'm actually, you know, I'm very thankful for the fact that I've actually made friends on YouTube. I was not ever planning on that, so.
Well, like I said, the community has helped a lot of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, and no offense to anybody, but I never really consider, since I never really consider myself a part of the fandom menace or anything like that. I never consider, because I don't really like to be part of groups or anything. So
yeah, I mean, even that community, yes, I've been a part of it and whatnot, and I've kind of gone my own way and stuff. I mean, I talk with people on one side of an argument, and I talk with people on the opposite side of the argument. I know, one of the most diverse communities ever. It's not just the fandom menace. It's all of us. I mean, Lethal, he's admittedly not fandom menace. He's geeks, or he's otherwise and whatnot. He doesn't really go into a group. I mean, the only group he's really affiliated with is Geeks and Gamers, because I believe he works with them, as does Lyndon and whatnot. But it's like, I chat with them, I chat with Mecca, I chat with Odin, I chat with as many people as I could and can. and whatnot. It's all pretty, or I'll chat and go onto anybody's channel that'll have me and whatnot. But one of the things is I'll also allow anybody to come onto my channel. But once I get to 1,000 subs, anyone who is under 1,000 and is trying to get their hours up and their sub count up, they'll have first dibs on my streams. Because I believe in the we rise together sentiment. I've always believed in that. And I see some of the bigger channels say, yeah, we'll support you and this and that, but I don't see the fucking support going through. Believe it or not, there are ways to check shit. I have checked a lot of it
at the beginning, and as soon as they got big, they quit helping anyone. They quit going to their channels. They quit talking to them.
Oh yeah,
and I've seen ones where I helped them when they were building a name, and as soon as they got their name, they quit talking to me.
Exactly, the same thing here. I mean, that's one of the things why I say at the end of every video, stay humble. You do not let the fame go to your head. Just because you were a fledgling YouTuber, then you get in with one of the groups and you suddenly shoot up like a meteor, and then you treat the rest of us who were your foundation like shit, and you basically ignore us on wholesale. Fine, fuck you. I want nothing to do with you. But the thing is, there are some out there who still do support, who still do drop by, who still do, even if it's once in a while, say hi in the chat. It is great. Those people are freaking awesome, and I'll always respect them. One of the people that I will always respect is Odin, because he's, one, the person who actually inspired me to get into YouTubing, and two, the man freaking continues. He has 20,000 subscribers, and he still does his damnedest to
talk to everybody, to get to know all his viewers, to try to go to people when he has a day off.
Exactly. And that is one of the coolest things about him.
I didn't even expect him to show up on that damn stream I was on. I sent him a link, and then me and Orange Hat got into a rant and tirade, and somewhere through that time, we both started swearing.
He showed up.
Pissed off. And I had two banners up. One was a giant fuck Disney, and then I had a scroll bar going with the fuck this company, fuck that company, and right as I'm in the middle of a swearing tirade, he pops in backstage. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dang.
Hello, Catholic school teacher. I'm sorry.
Like, I mean, even if I was on a stream and Odin came on, believe me, I would be the first person to stop swearing, because that's how much I respect Odin. And that is how much I respect the man.
You know, with my issues, I can't filter a lot of it, which is why when I'm on his streams,
you do a great job with it in the Valhalla ones,
because I'm muted most of the time.
Yeah,
and my head's down most of the time.
Yeah,
it's literally I'm hiding it so people can't hear me saying the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that when I'm hosting streams or when I'm a major part of a serious panel. So it's a lot harder. I know. But with that one, because of how he does it, I can just cut myself off constantly. I still screw up. I still say bad things. And he just laughs when it happens and goes, it's okay. It's okay. It's like, I try. I remember Gentry. I mean, as heathenistic atheist as he gets.
Oh, and he came on the one of my streams. I miss Gentry, man.
He's basically all he does now is the game streams with Fat Stevens group, because his mom's still in the hospital. He's still going through trying to keep himself clean, and he just doesn't want to deal with stuff. And that's fine. But I remember him coming to one of my streams one night, and this was when a news story had happened about almost 2 years ago now. It was right around December 19.
Yeah.
And he had just come onto my stream from leaving Odin's chat, because Odin had killed his stream early because how distraught he got about this whole thing going on with the abortion movement. And Gentry, heathenistic, pro-choice atheist, was tirading in my chat about how much he was pissed about what these people had said and how much they upset Odin. How dare they make him go through that? He's fucking Catholic. Respect him. And it's like, Gentry.
And here's the thing, like I'm a Christian, non-denominational, but like I'm not going to sit there if somebody's in, I just choose to respect other people's beliefs, like, because it's not, there are certain Christians who should go out and spread the gospel, but like it's not my calling to do that. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a
Well,
pastor.
Nor am
the
I.
difference between
even-
hiding from our faith and sharing it, the thing that most people don't get is that just because it says to minister to other people doesn't mean we're supposed to sit there and preach at them. It means we're supposed to be an example, be open about what we believe, show an example of what
Exactly.
we believe, and live what we preach, so they can look at us and go, "I want what you have. Help me find it."
Exactly. I think that, you know, a lot of Christians just do that, and they do the whole ministry thing when they're not ministers, you know, and everything. And you know, like even if the guy's an atheist, you know, I'm still gonna say, okay, well, I disagree with you, but we're not gonna sit there and dwell on that. But
There's somebody who actually tried pulling the whole, if you're an atheist or believe in this, and this, and this, and this. This was during my Simu Liu videos. This one guy, he's like, well, all atheists believe in homosexuality and pedophilia and how it should be acceptable. I'm like, no, the fuck they don't.
Atheists are just like any other group. There's good and bad, and they have different beliefs.
Yeah, it's like, I know plenty of atheists who say if you touch a kid in a sexual way, you're going to get your ass killed or kicked or whatever. I mean, believe me, folks. And when I did the Simu Liu videos, I gave personal perspective as well as perspective of secondhand from people who I know who have worked with those kind of people and had to treat those kind of people. And like they told me, every time they get out of those treatment, they end up reoffending. It is disgusting. You can't cure them. The only good cure for that is to chemically neuter them and then give them a lobotomy. That way they absolutely have no sex drive, period.
I don't know. I mean, that whole, like, I never thought that, the only thing that really sucks about Simu Liu, or however you're supposed to say it, Simu Liu.
Simu.
Yeah, the only thing that
brightest
sucks
day.
is Tony Long is in that, and I love Tony Long. But I guess the paycheck was good.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you guys don't get it, man. If you are ever saying that you sympathize with those kind of people because of what they feel and whatnot, I want nothing to do with you.
I think I said this in your chat. I think I said this in your comments
Yeah.
when you made that video. They're better off drowning in the lake.
They are, and the thing is, hold on.
And that's not me saying that. Jesus said that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I put that backstage for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things about Odin, when he does go into his, or because he knows so much about the Catholic religion and whatnot, and he's a theology teacher and whatnot, I have actually kind of dabbled back over into Catholicism because I was baptized Catholic. And I've actually looked back into it, but I am still kind of I'm an on the fence Catholic still. Because I kind of do sometimes go the Da Vinci Code route. And it's
I have issues with Catholic doctrine, but I don't have issues with
I do
Catholic
too.
people.
I grew up.
am very much a Christian girl, and my family is very Catholic on both sides, but I will never be Catholic.
I grew up. I grew up on the total opposite end of the spectrum. My mom's side of the family is Catholic, pure and pure. Then my dad's side of the family is Baptist.
I'm going to see if any of our
two
Aussie brothers,
intersections of my
any of
family.
our Aussie brothers.
On my dad's side, you have the freaking native Catholics, so you've got the teepee creeping Catholics. So, and on my mom's side, you've got the Irish Catholics, and they are both very, very big, very, very Catholic families. So,
Yeah, well, just try having one side of your family Catholic and then one side Baptist. So.
Well, you got to realize with our family, my mom, my dad, and us, we all went no Catholic for us.
Yeah.
Family events and dealing with family has been interesting.
Well, it's one of the reasons why, like, even like I don't even as a Christian, like, I don't go to church because, like, sometimes I kind of believe in what Tolstoy believed, the Russian writer. He believed that, why should I go to church? Because sometimes these preachers aren't living the true life that they're preaching, And so,
well, it's a misnomer anyways, because the word church has been misinterpreted. And by that, let me explain. If you go back to the origins of words and the creation and the biblical uses of them, church did not mean the building or the doctrinal, which that church was two or more believers joining together to celebrate their faith and study it. Temples were the building, the denomination, and that is according to the language that was used to write it.
mhm.
So what they call churches now isn't the church anyways. The church is simply you join with a fellow believer wherever and however you can, and you celebrate what you believe. That's church.
Yes.
And Mara's live on Twitch, so it's like, God damn it!
And I think that description will explain enough of me to people. I am very much a linguist purist. I really want the closest to the true language, closest to the original words, all that as you can get. And I want it done with honor and respect.
Same here. And thing is, I piss off a lot of people on my videos because I use words in their original meaning, like the word retard.
What do you think is that hardcover book?
Well, that is a hardcover that I could get my hands on in time.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, like, I've always liked you. You speak the truth, and like I said, you speak entertainment news, but you're a lot better than Entertainment Tonight. So,
Well, the thing is, I'm not going to pull my punches when it comes to saying stuff. If a person's being retarded, held back, and hindered, I'm going to basically say that. And the thing is, a lot of these idiots on Twitter do not understand that when I say it, put in parentheses, held back and hindered, what I am calling them is retarded.
well, exactly. I mean, it's just amazing that there's, like I said, Hollywood and people in general need to stop. In order to be as progressive as they want us to be, the thing is, how we do that is we honestly just let them be and don't call attention to it. We would have to. I mean, because you don't. If your story should not focus on whatever the identity politics thing, unless your story calls for it.
The problem is the thing with identity politics has gotten so bad, it has led to things like cuties. That's the problem with identity politics. It inevitably leads to very disgusting things like cuties, and even things that are going to end up being worse than cuties. There was a movie back in the 90s because they tried pushing the whole progressive bullshit, and the movie's Kids came out. But that was also supposed to be an awareness-driven movie that was based on the AIDS pandemics that was also coming out, and or the problems with underage sex.
Well, I mean, I didn't see the movie, and but there's that one.
It's not distributed anymore. That's a movie that was actually pulled.
I'm talking about a completely another movie now. But there's that one movie. I refuse to see it because of the plot synopsis. And I actually liked the actor before he got really before he had some very disturbing allegations about him.
What was it?
Call Me by Your Name.
Never heard of it. Who was the actor?
Armie Hammer and Timothy Chalamet.
Right. The freaking cannibalism shit.
which I have kind of my own opinion about that. Like I know that Armie Hammer was a notorious drunk, and so we all say stupid stuff when we're drunk, and so, and he's going to.
He was saying that he wanted to cut pieces off of women and eat them.
Yeah, and he's also going to rehab right now. So,
wait, they have cannibal rehab,
alcohol rehab.
Ah, okay.
So I think I'm kind of trying to Sherlock Holmes a little bit there. That maybe he was just drunk when he said that stuff, because we all say when we are severely hammered, and I mean severely hammered, we all do some messed up things. Maybe not to that extreme, but
Well, your inhibitions or that's what alcohol releases, your inhibitions basically. It cuts your inhibitors.
Yeah, but the thing is that alcohol releases your inhibitions. It doesn't change you. So, yeah, it's messed up shit. For you to do something while drunk, it has to at least be partly in your personality and desires.
Exactly. Me, even if I was drunk as a fucking skunk, I wouldn't. Or a lot of people, I've actually said this to a lot of the ladies in the community. It's like, no offense, but you and 1,000 other women could be standing naked in front of me and it wouldn't get me to twitch. And people were like, I bet you if I got you freaking liquored up drunk, you'd be sleeping with anybody. I'm like, I bet you I wouldn't. I was freaking blasted drunk one time with my ex-girlfriend, and she was coming on real fucking hard, and I told her, absolutely not, honey, sorry.
So, as I was saying, though, the movie Call Me By Your Name, I've never seen the movie just because of the plot synopsis, because it's about a 24-year-old man who falls in love with a 17-year-old. And it was set in Italy. Yeah. It was set in Italy, but I don't care,
Yeah, the thing is, Europe has age of consent laws that are down in the fucking mid and lower teens.
Yeah,
and that's
my problem I have with Japan is an age of consent that's 14.
Yeah, and that's what it's like. If I go to Japan, I am definitely keeping it in my pants the entire time I am there.
The other creepy thing with that age of consent and dealing with Japan and Asian culture is because the women don't age as much anyways.
Well,
as a general, let me explain what I'm saying. They don't age as fast. They don't hit adult looking as fast. So it becomes very difficult to differentiate between who's way too young and who just looks young.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there are women who do adult film or adult shit or adult film in Japan. They look like they're underage. They look like they're at least 14, 15 years old, but they're actually 19, 20, or some of them are even in their 30s and they look like they're fucking young. And a person's like, I like younger looking women. And a person's like, that's pedophilia. It's like, no, pedophilia is when you have sexual attraction to actual kids. Just because a woman is 30 and looks like she might be 17 or some shit, it doesn't make a guy a pedophile.
No, that can be very disrespectful to the women too, because you're basically saying if you look too young, you don't deserve to find adult love.
Yeah, and that's like, it's a controversial topic, yeah, and it's seriously fucked up too. But the thing is, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, no. I mean, if a woman looks young and she married an older guy, I think I mean, if the woman's over 18, good. But if the guy's older and everything, I think you do also have the right though to call the guy a creepy old man, even if he is dating an 18-year-old.
Can I say that's part of what pissed me off with the supposed right and the conservative side is how quickly they defended Roy Moore just because it was legal for him to date 16-year-olds. He was in his fucking late 20s and 30s, cruising high schools for girls with daddy issues to date.
Well, if you guys are going to freaking go off on or age-wise, then you'd be calling freaking Aristotle Onassis a creeper.
No, that one, though, it wasn't just that there was the age gap, which I think shouldn't have been legal then, but you can say it was a different era. But he was trolling specifically for underage girls who had daddy issues who weren't going to notice the pattern.
Yeah, well then, if he's
That's a
going for
whole
underage
different
girls, then that is completely wrong to do. I mean,
And they all defended him going to high schools and getting 16-year-olds to date in his late 20s because it was legal in that state when he did it. It's like, I don't fucking care. He's a
that is
freaking
disgusting.
predator.
Yeah, that is disgusting. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people, or I'm 36, and Riot, I believe she's 21, 22, or people would say that, or if I was to go out with a 22-year-old, yeah, that is perfectly legal. And if it was consensual, then there's no problem with it. But people would still call me a creeper. Now, imagine if it was a 36-year-old woman going out with a 21, 22-year-old guy. They wouldn't bat a fucking eyelash.
Hey,
They wouldn't bat a fucking eyelash.
But
I mean-
speaking as somebody who I was 15 and 16 with my ex's abuse, and he was 27.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Roy
When
Mara
you're
was
a
a wacko.
kid, you're not completely mentally prepared for that shit. You can easily get sucked in and think it's more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's friends of mine who are like 22, 23 years old, and they're like, you want to talk online? You want to get on? And I'm like, nope. No offense, but no. My preference is 5 years either forward or backward. If you are 5 years younger than me or 5 years older than me, I'll have no problem with it. But if you are 6 years at the bare most, either way, because the thing is, all the shit that I went through in 2017 has put me on guard for a lot of shit. I'm not taking any fucking risks.
It wasn't until I looked back at that relationship. It wasn't until I fled him. It wasn't until I tried to get myself out of that I really saw how manipulative, abusive, sociological stuff before the physical abuse started. How everything was planned, because you don't see that as a kid.
Well, no, because you don't even understand it yet.
No.
Me, I knew about sexual shit when I was in my fucking single digits.
I knew a lot. I knew a lot more than most girls my age, and I still fell for it.
Yeah,
And most girls my age were a lot easier to control and manipulate than I was.
When I was 13 was when we started sexual education in my school, and it's like, I know all about this stuff, and I've known about it for about 5 to 6 or 4 or 5 years. Because the thing is, my dad didn't really keep his bedroom locked, so to speak. So we always snuck in and watched some of the dirty shit and read some of the dirty magazines and whatnot. So, I mean, kids will be kids, you know? They'll be curious, and if they find that shit, they'll be like, holy shit, you know? But then nowadays, they're teaching that shit to kids who, I'm not saying what I did as an 8-year-old checking out my dad's freaking porn stash was right. By no means is that right. No kid that age should be looking at that shit because they're not ready for it. I mean, even when you are finally being sexually matured through puberty, that still doesn't mean you should be going out fucking around.
Yeah.
Sexual education is there to educate you on the dangers of sex and whatnot, not just the pleasures of it.
Well, and this kind of leads into another topic. What I'm not for is what I'm totally not for is the child abuse going on in school right now about teaching, about telling the kids about, that, to basically be part of the community, the LGBTQ.
Oh yeah, there's those there's those parents that were freaking reading the books that were in these high school and children's school libraries that had straight up pedophilia in them. And they're like, are you fucking serious? One of the board members of one of the schools is like, you can't, that is not for kids. And she's like, hell yes it is. This was a kid's book.
And what's even worse when you get into all that is the manipulation. You remember during the whole Pride Month, the band in San Francisco that did a song saying "We're coming for your kids," and there were members in that freaking choir who were on the sex offender list.
Oh yeah, I know. And believe me, they got rightfully roasted.
But that's not just roasted. That is scary. Watch the fuck what's going on in this world, people.
Are you kidding? Some of those pride parades that they've had over the years have had freaking women completely naked and having strap-ons around kids that were 3 to 4 years old.
Do you know there's
how the
a
fuck does
group of friends I
anybody
have
who
here
does
in
those
town
things?
here?
You
There's
heard
a group of
about
friends
this.
I have in town here who are what you would consider the liberal gay guys. The guy that's the main one that runs this group, he's opposed pride parades openly, publicly runs groups against them for 2 reasons. A, he said he can never go to one and celebrate sexuality of his straight friends. B, he said they are little more than justification to be sexual and vulgar around children.
I'll tell you flat out, if I see anybody freaking being overtly sexual or flamboyant or sexually flamboyant around kids, whether it be their kids or, well, if it's their kids, honestly, I can't do shit about it because that is up to them. But when it comes to being sexually flamboyant around other people's kids, you're damn right. I'm actually going to speak up and I'm going to say, get the fuck away from that person's kid. Because right now, that is one of the most disgusting things you could ever do.
I'm going to, if that ever happened to me, I'm going to accept it that I'm going to go to jail. And it's going to be for assault because I'm going to punch that guy.
I have a friend who runs a group that's literally purpose is to help actual true trans people defend themselves against trans trenders and the sex offenders in the community.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you hear about this? I think this was like in Washington and Oregon because all the dumb stuff happens in those states and California too. But this specific incident happened. A guy went into the women's bathroom because he claimed he identified as trans because he can do that now thanks to our president. And sorry to get into politics here, but
that's all right.
He said, so the cops did, because he did something illegal, he was spying on people in the bathroom, but he said he identified as trans. The cops let him go.
Careful with some of that work there, Rosetta. If I see any nips, I'm going to have to pull that
I was very
screen.
careful to flip it past those without letting it show.
Okay, good. But just make sure that you keep it PG-13.
I'm being careful.
Because I saw one that almost looked like, it's like, what? Okay, that's going all the way down the breast. Okay. But yeah, and into other stuff, I mean, yesterday I kind of had I aired some frustration. And let me actually go to my profile on Twitter because I can actually read these tweets out. Because this is something that I really am, I'm expecting this to happen. Because as I was saying, we should help all of our fellow YouTubers rise together, like we said, right? And I put this up knowing it's going to piss off people. But you know what? Right now, I don't care. Because the thing is, if you are going to invite me onto your channel just because I finally made 1,000 subs. If I get invited onto a person's channel just because I hit 1,000 subs, I will tell them I'm not interested. And if they ask me why, it's like, you could have had me on at any time before I hit 1,000. Why didn't you? It took me a while to get to 1,000 subs. It's taken me 2 years to get to freaking 750 subs, where there are people who are already at 1,000 subs, didn't even take them 2 months. And it's like, and where is that damn tweet? But yeah. Geez, Kryptonian poodles. Might as well go to my notifications. I'm pretty sure I could find it easier that way.
Did you?
Well, anyway, basically what I said is if people invite me onto their channel now that I have or when I reach 1,000 subs, if people are going to invite me onto their channel just because I finally reached 1,000 subs, I am going to be very upset with them because it tells me that you didn't care about me until I reached 1,000 subs. And why should I care about you then? I mean, there are channels like OG Star Wars. She's brought me onto her channel, and I'm still basically a very small channel. She's a humble YouTuber. She's an awesome YouTuber. Same with Lethal Lightning and others. But it's like
you're always
others.
Me.
I know. And if I get invited onto like fucking Geeks and Gamers before I reach 1,000, that'll be fine. But if they are aware of me to a high degree, and they know of my channel, and then after I get to 1,000 subs, then they're like, hey, would you like to come on, celebrate your 1,000 subs and whatnot? Nope. I'll celebrate my 1,000 subs on my own channel. No offense to Geeks and Gamers. I absolutely like Geeks and Gamers. They're a great channel. Not fond of all of their members, but for the most part, they're a solid group. But when it comes to people taking notice of others simply because of their freaking subscriber count, that is shallow as shit. It is why I say stay humble. If you are not humble, I want nothing to do with you. And I even said it, and I did have my little shit or breakdown yesterday. I mean, because the thing is, I've seen it happen. I've had this happen to me. I have reported on shit 2 days, 3 days ahead of most of the bigger channels. Got nothing, fucking nothing in views and whatnot. Suddenly they fucking report on it and everybody's like, oh my God, did you hear about this? Yeah, I heard about this. I fucking reported on it 2 days ago. Where the fuck have you been? You say you support my shit. Where the fuck are you? You know? I mean, I'm not calling out people specifically. I will not do that on my freaking channel. I will not call out people specifically anymore. Because that is only going to cause problems down the road. I like
that notebook style with just the plain white background because it really makes it look clean of her.
Yeah. Also, I mean, did you guys hear about the Russo brothers dissing out on Loki?
I don't know. I haven't been able to keep up with much for a while.
Well,
I don't know.
They said that. You were saying?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with any Marvel news because I'm just so burnt down on superhero movies that I just don't care anymore, you know?
Yeah. Well, they were dissing out on Loki because Loki made the Infinity Stones useless or whatever. And I'm like, no, the fuck they didn't. They actually paid attention to the lore. Where you dumb fucks with your Endgame movie completely violated the lore. So when and I did the video where
I
freaking
remember that.
And everybody's like, or then they showed the latest What If, and I'm like, if you guys are real freaking Marvel fans, and I have the tweet right here. It's like all you Marvel fans who thought that the latest episode of What If was objectively good, you might want to watch my video here. This is about the Russo stupidity, but it covers the cardinal rule of Infinity Stones in Marvel. Because the last episode of What If basically had an Ultron with all 6 Infinity Stones leaving his own universe and going after the Watcher. It's like impossible. It's not possible. Oh, it's What If. I don't care if it's fucking What If. Even What If is bound by their fucking rules. If the Infinity Stones leave their home universe, they go inert. They don't work. So how is Ultron going after the Watcher, pounding him through several different universes with the 6 Infinity Stones? How is he doing that? It's not possible. I mean, yes, people can enjoy it. If they want to enjoy it, fine. Enjoy it. I'm not here to take that away from you. But at least have the integrity to say flat out, this shouldn't have worked. This is not, it is impossible. But the problem with franchises now is that they've broken all their rules, and people are no longer knowing of the rules, so they don't know how to they don't have any integrity anymore. And that's the thing that pisses me off the most. It's like, where's your integrity, you know?
What did this go
Also,
good with the
frickin'
pillows
Will
that?
Smith.
What did this go good with the pillows that Lisa likes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would. Lethal needs to order a pillow from you.
Hey, Lethal needs to look through this store because I bet you there's a lot of stuff I put up here that he would love.
And that's actually one of the better art pieces that you did, too. I mean, considering how bad Australia has gotten recently, holy shit. Well, recently, over the last year, oh my God, man, they've went full fucking Nazi Germany over there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's try this.
And I'm not saying that to get into politics either. I'm just saying that it has gotten really fucking bad over there. And I pray for every one of my Aussie or my frickin' friends over there who are Australian. Lethal, Skirmitar, all of them. I am praying for all of them because it's like all it takes. Because you saw the whole, or you guys heard about the thing on Facebook, right? Where a person posted something on Facebook not to go to an event, and the police broke down their door. I believe Lethal actually showed that on one of his streams. I'm waiting for the full Aussie to literally be shut down by the police. I'm not hoping it happens. I'm not anticipating it, but I am looking at this and it's like, dude, you guys got to be careful because I'm pretty sure they're going to be going after you guys. It's like, holy shit. You can, even if you use your names, to put it into perspective, folks, basically, it doesn't matter if you are going by an anonymous name like Orange Hat Reviews. It doesn't matter if I use Orange Hat Reviews or my real name, Daniel. You can look me up. You will most likely find me online. You will find out my real name. And then there you go. The government can easily freaking find you. It is that easy. The only way is if you go so far off the grid, you basically don't exist. If the boys at the Full Aussie, as much as I love the Full Aussie and whatnot, if they continue their, well, quote unquote, narrative is fucked thing, I'm afraid that the government is going to go after all three of them. And it's easy to find out who they are. I just recently found out the full name of our fellow YouTuber. And all I needed to know was where or what they did as a job, and I could easily freaking figure it out. Now, am I going to out them? Hell no. That's not what I do. I'm never going to out anybody. I would never out any of my friends on here. Never dox them. I mean, if they want to give their name and shit, that's their thing. Me, I could find out who they are, sure. But does that mean I'm going to freaking report who they are? No. That's not my style. But anyway, holy shit, we've almost been going for 3 hours.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, I think it was about an hour and a half ago, you said you were going to try to wrap things up soon with me.
Yeah, I really should because I think I only have like an hour left on my StreamYard for September, and
try
it's not until
Restream because their free account includes unlimited.
I will look into it. But yeah, I am going to cut this one here. I do want to thank everybody who came into the chat, who supported. I want to thank all my people who came on to shoot the shit: Junebug, Eagle, or Rosetta, Marty, and who was the other one that was on with us?
Meme.
Yep, Memes. Thanks, Memes. PCAT, Eamon, or Fate. Good to see you guys. Everybody, Brightest Day, all of y'all. Riot Kitty, Run Rough Girl, JM 2021, all of y'all. Keely Chow, Gilkey, thank you all for coming in, showing some support. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you, because if without you guys, this channel is nothing. It really is. Without you guys, this channel is nothing. And without the support you have all shown me over the 2 years that I've been on YouTube, discovering you guys and whatnot, oh my God, it has just been a freaking wild ride. And I am so happy that I have been here to take this journey with all y'all. And that is why I am so humbled by your support. And I will always continue to be humble. I will always have your guys' back, because you have always had my back. And I do want to thank all of y'all for it. So with that out of the way, thank you all. Tune in Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, where me and Chris Knight are going to be talking Terminator Dark Fate to finish off the Terminator discussion streams. But we will have a special announcement on that stream. So I do want you all to definitely pay attention to that stream for that special announcement. Also, I got the Versus stream still going. Definitely tune in Sunday on Halloween. A special Versus stream will be up for that one. So stay tuned at the channel. Make sure you guys got that bell on for notifications, because you're not going to want to miss what's coming. Anyway, folks, thank you so much. Rosetta, June, thank you guys so much. And folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews, and always remember, stay humble.